Now hold that pose, Scott.
Oh, wow.
No, turn more toward there. Perfect. Gotcha.
Oh, I see. We're gonna.
Yeah.
Of course.
Hello. How long, John, will you let us screen cap for? Sorry, pose for.
No pose.
I mean, as long as I still actively have food in my mouth, as long as I need.
Several seconds, yeah.
We
You approve?
I approve.
Excellent.
It's a little silly. Sure. Take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Sunday. It's
Real brick wall.
spring.
What up, rascals? Sup, real brick
What's
wall?
going on here?
Oh, wow, look at. Oh, everyone's here. This is great.
Hello.
Everyone.
It's a bit too dark.
Welcome.
I'll just take my amphetamines so that I can
Hot.
Your amphetamines, John?
get
Is that
through
what you
this
said?
stream.
Oh,
That is fantastic news.
yeah, it really
Good.
is, Aragwen. Next.
Max is very excited too. So excited he might knock over a bookshelf behind us while we watch.
Well,
Can you imagine how chaotic that would be?
well, he's up there. Yeah, the Discord bot did not go off. We're not sure why.
It might eventually. Sometimes it takes like 12 minutes.
So I'm going to give it another 3, and if it doesn't, it's right over there. I'll fix it.
Yeah, you may
No,
notice
no,
something.
it's our bot. I'll do it. Yeah, just right here, I guess.
Go ahead.
You may notice something different back here. I mean, this color is pretty familiar, right? You may not have realized that something's changed, and yet something has.
How is that color familiar, bro?
It's in the same color family as the curtains that used to be behind us, but now it is a wall. Woo! Yeah, the curtains are
ironed
so
those
smooth. Look,
Oh, smoot.
don't at me. Don't at me about my wrinkly curtains.
Can you imagine peeling back? Like, it looks like a wall, but you peel it back because it's actually just a very flat curtain. Like a
my God.
shrink-wrapped curtain.
Theater
Everywhere.
magic.
I wish it was a really flat curtain, then we could, like, soundproof it a lot easier.
No, it's,
I
that's
mean,
a
or
good
it would
point.
be not soundproof at all because back there is the outside.
Oh, no.
But yeah, so we're in a different room in the home. So, yeah, we moved. You know,
Yay!
20 feet.
We have not.
Nope.
This is the room of streaming, as y'all know.
They're well aware.
Indeed.
Yeah, we are now coming to you live from the confines of my office. To the right is where Scrub Check and RPG Clinic's clinic hours are run.
Yes.
What a scoop! I get to
So
do.
that we have a dining room table again.
You know what? I respect that.
Yeah.
This
Just
room
wanna
is
eat.
the room that we are planning on making accessible for when we can gather once more. This is where the streams will happen. But it's just a pain in the ass to have it all over our dining room table all the time.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know anything about that.
But this way it's
Yay,
kind of out of the
Friends for
way.
like 3 years.
Thank
Much
you for
appreciated.
hosting us for so long in your place. I'm so
Yay.
glad none of us have to do it again.
Well, they have to.
Well, in their dining room.
Oh, yes. I understand. You don't have to put yourselves out to host.
No, instead it's just my office.
This is your work, though, John. Is it not?
It is, in fact, however, parts of my office that are not currently in use, are just empty space. So it works out.
Perfecto.
Wasn't it 2? It was closer to 3.
Yeah, until John moved back, basically. So,
Yes, that's.
quite a while. We were well into Changeling by that point.
Yeah, quite well into it, right?
Yeah.
Scott, what is this shirt?
This is a companion cube shirt, which I really like. I think I got it at Montreal Comic Con 20 or Gen Con 2016, 2017, somewhere in there. I honestly don't remember. And I throw a shirt on top of it, just so it has a little effect.
One must always keep an eye on Max.
Yes. if the Chaos Bunny is not here, the Chaos Cat will do something in his stead.
He almost created quite a lot of chaos, as in his sleep he almost rolled off the bookshelf completely.
I was not here for this. But
Scrambled to grab on, almost taking the entire thing down with him. Somehow managed to not do that, but it was alarming.
Long live the king.
That's pretty much what it was.
Are things.
You know who is keeping an eye on you, though, is She Who Knows 10,000 Things and Strength of Borders. Entropy's disciple isn't here, but it's not that he isn't cool. So Aragorn and Real Brick Wall are here. Is it Poke every Sunday, Aragorn?
It's pretty good.
She's staring at the door for Poke. I'm not sure if we'll get a response just yet.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
I'm
Her
reminded that
attention
I
is
haven't
elsewhere.
Yet wall anchored this bookshelf. So if it comes down on me in the middle of stream, then you know why.
Yeah, I think we're definitely gonna have to do that in the new place. Yep.
Agreed.
Yep.
Why? Because you're expecting the new place to shift around a bunch?
No.
Yeah,
No,
sure hope
just
not.
this is an old bookshelf, so we put it through a move and it's already like a little unsure.
Yeah, that's
So we should
that's an
drill it
understatement.
into the wall to make sure it stays.
Fucking lock that shit down.
We're the bosses.
Bows.
Wow, bounce. Yeah.
They've
Hey.
survived many moves.
Heterotic?
They're
Thanks
very
for
old.
following.
Hey.
Hey.
IKEA bookshelves can survive one move.
Depends on the shelves. Depends on
I
the
just
move.
need to point out that's going to be like move number 6 for these. This is an old one.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
This
Sorry,
one
I
was
just realized.
yours, I think, that you've had basically
Shit.
since you moved to Montreal,
Yeah.
if I'm not
out of
mistaken.
residence, but
It's
Yeah.
been 84 years.
I mean, that bookshelf is the equivalent of that woman from Titanic. It feels like the heart of the ocean, just like
I keep finding jewelry in it, yeah. And naked
Finding Leonardo
photos.
DiCaprio in it.
Yeah. Paint me like one of your French shells.
I know, I wish we had a
I
name
don't
of
know.
them.
I'm not actually sure what they're called.
Yeah. Thank you, Kind Fruit
so, right?
Feathers.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Well, either way, it's time to find out who actually did the right thing and is going to please Aragorn today. Who spent experience? 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm saving.
Bookended. I bought 2 things. I bought a second dot of presence because I've been using it a lot. I want to avoid becoming Val, but I'm still allowed to be present. And I bought a charm, a lore charm called Elemental Bolt Attack. And I'm going to be a little cagey about what it does because I think it'll be a really cool moment when I use it. But you can go look it up. It's on page 215 of the book.
I'm not going to look it up, but can I just confirm it's called Elemental Bolt Attack?
Yep.
That's okay. Okay, cool.
Gilad, good. I knew you'd be excited about that one.
3 exclamation marks, 4 exclamation marks. I got one. Yeah.
I bought a specialty, stealth faculty.
Did you actually
Yes!
I asked John, and he said it was
Not even like
okay.
superiors, like faculty. So once you graduate, fucking useless.
Exactly.
Does it work on the cool teacher, though? This is my question.
I mean, I guess we'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
Like the young hip.
I do have to say that was Chat's
Yeah.
idea. Because I had a note from past Liz saying, "Hey, you should do this."
Oh, past Liz is great.
Thanks, Chat.
From Chat. So
Thanks,
thank you,
past
Chat.
Liz.
The thing is,
Okay.
what if she gets a job at an academy later on?
Oof.
Then
So
she's
why-
just really good at hiding from her peers.
Yep.
Honestly, having worked in places of work, that can be very useful. Oh boy.
Well, either way, there you go. You've had some experience spent. It is your 10th session. At the end of this session, you will potentially be eligible to purchase Essence 2.
We survive.
We
Survive.
survive. Right.
Essence 2 kind of opens up a lot. Essence 1 isn't actually even designed for starting characters. Starting characters are supposed to start at Essence 2. But you've made it through the gauntlet of all of that, and you'll be able to try to get good.
Scrub.
What'd you call me?
I believe Kate called you a scrub.
Well, don't make me come over there and
the public you, the royal you. I don't know, whatever that's.
I'm not gonna try to hurt the rest of that. Seems like a really.
I mean, you can try.
Yeah.
I won't fight
So
back.
rolling up your sleeves in a threatening way, though.
I think I look better with rolled up sleeves.
Aragorn doesn't even know
Kate.
who spent experience and who didn't.
Well,
Quick,
we spent question mark. And we'll just totally not be repeating
Scott's
ourselves.
the only one who
We
didn't spend experience.
God damn it, Gale! What the fuck?
Tattle, tattle.
I'm gonna make up for our bot being a
Snitch.
dingus.
All right, thanks.
A
Thanks,
snitch.
Dingus
John.
malingus.
Incredible. What?
Yay!
Witness the bookshelf.
I know you don't respect this, Aragorn, but I'm saving for Essence 2 charms.
I'm doing both.
I'm getting all my prerequisites.
That's actually
That's
probably a good
really
move.
a good call.
I haven't even really. I was like, I'm sure I have something.
I'm sure I have some.
No. Those signature charms, though.
Ooh.
5 ability, Essence 3, so it's ages off.
Yeah.
But like,
But I should probably look at the charm trees again before I, I mean, it's too late, I guess. We're hitting Essence 2, but...
it does imply that, doesn't it, Aragorn?
Yeah. Yeah.
No. You know what? It was bound to happen to one of my characters sometime.
What is
Crashes
it
out
that we
first 10
would
sessions.
be surviving if we were to need to survive to Essence 2? Perhaps we should find out what happened last time?
Oh!
What a segue.
I liked
Segues are
it.
getting even better.
This one didn't even come from me.
Nice. We gotta rotate them segues, too. Of course, if you want to know what happened at the House of Bells, there's only one place to turn to, and that is the Intel Report, School Secrets Declassified. I love it. Anathema in the school. Forget what lies you may have heard about the Inquisition that interrupted classes. The entire thing was conducted for one reason, to find an anathema hidden among the students of the House of Bells. This may be difficult for many to believe. Normally, the discovery of the anathema is cause for the entire prefecture to be alerted and the Wild Hunt called down. The House of Bells faculty has, for reasons unknown, kept the matter to themselves. Though it is possible they merely wish to avoid making the school look weak, all evidence points to a greater conspiracy that aims as high as the imperial throne. That's my tinfoil hat. Many students suspect the Lost Hand, which partially comprises students who were exempted from a rightful expulsion, to be close to the matter of the anathema incursion. Sources indicate that Commandant Nuven has personally cleared the Lost Hand of suspicion, as the Fang has formed a sworn kinship, a gift bestowed unto the Dragon-Blooded that no anathema could imitate. However, even the Commandant's judgment is to be trusted. There is no doubt that the Fang consorts with some of the likeliest suspects on the campus. When the anathema is discovered, it seems almost certain that the Lost Hand will not be far off.
Heard in the hallways. I saw the quartermaster placing wards in the glade. It's true, I did see that. Are there ghosts nearby? One can only hope. Finally, we got a day of normal classes. One day, and then this. If I write home about this, my mother will pull me from the school.
Some of the students from the Broken Fangs are trying to pick people off from fangs that are still together. I'd punch Brevin in the throat if he tried.
Shit.
Insert knuckle crack here, which I won't do because I
That's-
didn't say it.
Brevin's getting burned even by other students. This is rough. Rough for Brevin.
He just needs to get burned by a certain fire aspect in the heat of passion.
Burned with love.
Do you mean... I don't know,
You're a
Sinus
young
Kraken or someone? Who is a
fire aspect. You may not be able to stop yourself from flaring up when you get excited. You
true.
might get a little singy.
You might get a little singy. It's possible.
Gil-Edgood mentions that I was going to answer. I was going to give an answer today, but believes that it will only raise more questions. So, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to step up. I'm going to I'm gonna close my ears for a second, and I want the three of you to say what answer you think you're going to get. But I don't want any. So I'm.
Wow.
You go ahead.
It's exciting. Ella.
You really can't hear us right now?
I guess not.
Excellent. That was a test and you passed. Ella, can you calm the fuck down, please?
Okay.
You're the call of the wild or
Guys,
something?
what do we think? What do we think? Who wants to jump in?
So I don't know if it's going to be the anathema who's revealed, but I think like someone working against like the game, like I guess the traitor,
Or
but
something
not really
about
the
like
traitor.
that the boat, or like what exactly the accusation is that like disbanded our fangs, or some sort of nugget of knowledge with that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Kate on that one. I think it's gonna have to do with exactly the first episode, the initial. We know the betrayal centers around politics of some kind, but we're not sure what or why. But the traitorship, the betrayal against the realm, is going to be revealed here.
Good enough.
Okay.
We good?
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
I really hope that whatever you said wasn't important for me to hear, because
We just talked about how much we hate you. I mean, love you.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
What?
Wait.
I'm okay with being hated and loved. What I'm also okay with is making sure that things are safe.
Yes.
Very good.
When we make jokes and talk about loving or hating someone, we have tools to make sure that people know when we are being serious or joking or just in character. These tools are here to help us communicate in ways that don't require us to necessarily break the motion of a scene. We have the green card. This is a card that we use to say it's okay. You can keep going. Even if my outward appearance may imply otherwise, I'm good with what's happening. I'm good to keep going. Thumbs up. All good. Yellow is used as a heads up. Here's some information that you might need before we can continue, but generally speaking, we can continue as long as we follow this advisement. Red card is a stop. Generally speaking, if this is pulled up, we would go to a BRB screen, talk off screen, and only return once the person who raised the red card is comfortable to do so. You never have to justify the reasons for using any of these cards. They are here to make sure that everyone is safe so that they can continue in a way that everyone can enjoy. You out there don't have the safety cards, but you do have options. If you're in chat, we have 2 moderators in today. That is Aragwen and Real Brick Wall, and you can always whisper RPGClinic, which John will see. These are ways for you to express your equivalent of a safety card. We ask that you never make jokes about any of the safety cards because we will take them seriously. It's a bit like yelling fire. Please don't. But if you need to reach out and communicate, if you reach to one of the moderators, they're happy to keep it anonymous if you so wish. And of course, if you're not comfortable, you're free to leave. We'd rather you be happy and safe being here, but your safety comes first to us.
Agreed.
Yay.
Thanks, Kate.
Thanks, friends.
In school, and also in the military, at least when you're learning, the emphasis is on conformity. Follow the rules. Stay in your lane. Focus on the learning. Don't go past what we expect of you. But this is also Exalted. And in Exalted, you're supposed to go big. Or go home. And since you're already home, you may as well go big. It's important to realize that even though you are in an academic environment, you're still PCs. This story revolves around you and around what you decide to do with what's happening here. And that means that no matter how bad things get, the point is, it's on you. So good luck. You'll need it today. But don't forget Everyone who exalts does so for a reason. Now, where were you?
We were in our barracks. I don't actually remember exactly what we were doing. Oh, we had just returned from being questioned by the commandant after having picked up Siantel and Flavienne. But unless she's just about to return, Aresta is not with us, or was not with us.
And it's later in the morning, I guess, by this point. We basically spent the morning getting questioned.
Yeah, it's definitely like, I think first light was when that sort of started, but it took some time for us to get there.
Yeah.
If you have anything that you need to accomplish specifically in the rest of the day, that's up to you. But you're also welcome to, wait things out and see what happens.
Because I had spoken to Brevin, and thereafter, that was the end of the scene, right? Because we were running late. Gotcha. That's why I'm not with you. I was like, where am I? Yeah. Okay.
Where am I?
Do you plan on sharing, like on telling us what that conversation was?
More or less, yeah. Yeah. I'll catch you all up on what happened.
So he's trying to recruit you.
He's trying to recruit anyone he thinks he can that would be an advantage.
Oh.
Specifically you, though.
I mean,
Not
Aresta's a huge
interested.
advantage.
You would be a big advantage to his paltry little thing.
I'm already the commander of a Fang. Why would I want to give that up?
Yeah, exactly. Why would you want to give that up?
Are you
Yeah,
sweating?
why would you want to give that up?
Yeah, why would you want to? I don't know. Are you sweating
Tires?
on in here? Tires takes the shirt off. I don't know.
Oh,
No,
Classic.
I'm not. Okay.
no, we made it 30 seconds.
It's a new
New
record.
record.
$5.
Fuck you. Sorry.
The fuck you of friendship.
Jesus, what a start.
So, as far as we know, the game will still happen.
We've
But-
got a bit of a reprieve, though, right?
If there are dangers lying at wait for us in this school amongst our peers, are we safe to just focus on a game? Would they sit in the stands and watch? Are we worth targeting? Sorry, I'm clearly adding conspiracies on top of conspiracies here, but I was quite surprised by the information we were given.
Me too. We've already caught up Siantel and Flavienne, so they know when we say the information, like they're aware at least. That's good.
Anathema!
What I want to know is, I have heard rumors of a traitor in our midst, and I have heard rumors of anathema, and I'm wondering if they are mutually exclusive or not.
The traitors are tied to the ship, and the ship had orichalcum. What do we call it? Orichalcum?
Orichalcum.
In game, or
So-
is
some-
it
something.
like the devil's gold or
I
something?
mean, it's you
I
can
kn-
use
I knew
orichalcum.
what it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Orichalcum. So perhaps they are tied.
Perhaps they are connected, yes. I am wondering if I should pay a visit to Bracken.
Should I go read in the corner in the fiction section just to be around?
Is that something you would like to do?
You're asking if Aresta likes to read fiction.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know the
She
answer
does.
already, but
Oh.
It's a question of whether you feel comfortable knowing that now that she's involved somehow.
I think it would make me feel better to have you around, yes. Thank
Great.
you.
If everyone is on the hunt for an anathema here at the House of Bells, then they're going to continue to hide either their true nature or their form, whatever it is.
I wonder what it is.
Exactly. The Commandant didn't give me any reason to believe that it is someone amongst the student body other than her suspicions. Now, I'm not saying that that's untrue, of course, but she seemed pretty certain that it was one of our peers. But I have no... We have to start somewhere. I want to make sure that we have as many people on our side looking as possible. I'm going to see if I can get people on the lookout for suspicious activity. Not mentioning our secret, of course.
I look at Flavian and Siantel. Do either of you have any inclination as to who this might be?
If it was known, you would think that people would have already done something about it. All I know is that it cannot be any of us in this room. That's it. I mean, I know that there's suspicions out there. I get worried when people start looking for somebody who's a traitor. They'll find one, whether they're a traitor or not.
Exactly.
It may have already happened to your old fangs.
Oh. But then that would be enough. They would have found their traitors, and that would have been enough. We wouldn't need the errand. We wouldn't need the games. We wouldn't need any of this additional pressure.
Maybe they were trying to make people scared.
That seems more likely.
Torture someone for a confession, and they'll figure out what you want and confess to it. But when you follow up on that confession, if they were lying to spare themselves the pain, you're gonna keep looking for the actual answer.
Drumhead. The drums will keep beating until there's no one left to beat them.
That's what I'm worried about as well. And there seems to be a divide between those people in the school who think that they can work alone or those that can work with others. I'm not saying we all need to march in lockstep along with the games master, along with the commandant, and go and search every nook and cranny of the House of Bells. That's not what I'm saying. But I just think it would be nice if everybody was on the same page. We don't have to be paranoid. We just have to be vigilant. And I want to bring that message to people.
There's one thing I can say. Most people think we're traitors. So it wouldn't surprise me if the real traitor made themselves known to us at some point.
What?
Are you sure that people think that we're traitors?
Because we've been so successful in the games, because the three of us were singled out and saved from expulsion, and nobody really seems to understand why. People have a lot of questions. And when they have questions, they assume things about us like we're traitors.
Kenton and Brevin are not everybody. It's just two squeaky wheels.
The squeaky wheels are loud.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And really annoying.
That is also true.
And Brevin is calling a lot of attention to himself and gathering a lot of people, and if part of his rhetoric involves throwing suspicion on us, it will continue.
That's how you get power. You give people an enemy and you claim that you can defeat it.
Trouble is, I don't think anyone knows what they're even looking for in an enemy.
But Siantel's right. They'll find one. They'll create one in their minds. They'll name it. And they'll eliminate it, make a show of it, an example of it.
So then, if we do find somebody, how do we convince them that that's it?
You ever try to convince something of something? It
Yeah.
doesn't work. People need to come to their own conclusions. Facts don't mean anything.
Facts actually mean a great deal.
Not when
Not
it
to
comes to
everyone.
changing someone's mind.
Facts matter to the person who learned them themselves.
Learn them themselves, exactly. So we have to find ways for people to come to their own conclusions, find those facts themselves. We need to guide them towards something.
That's worse. Sorry, folks. I don't know. I was feeling blown out, so I thought I could fix it without distracting. The answer is no.
Relax. We're all too shiny.
Bracken's a good place to start if we're looking for information about, and I lean in conspiratorially, orichalcum. I wouldn't even know what it looks like.
It's gold.
Okay. Don't say like I'm stupid. I know it's gold.
Special gold.
Yeah, but is it like in bars or like jewels or like?
They make weapons out of it.
So like
it's a magical material, just like jade.
Oh.
It's not common.
I know it's not common. That's why I want to know what it is when I find it.
Regular gold is not that useful as a weapon because it's soft. It's great for jewelry. If you see someone holding a golden weapon that isn't just like a statue,
okay,
maybe
ask a couple questions.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't think it's here, do we? Like at the school?
It's possible.
It's a big campus.
Yeah.
I think we know what we gotta do.
Yeah, I need to return some library books before they're past due.
All right, let's go.
And what do you wish to do with us, Commander?
I trust your judgment. If you seek guidance, I can give
She
it.
just starts setting fires.
I need to get some.
Yep.
What leads you want to chase down? Or
To be honest,
want to sleep?
I have to catch up on my homework.
Then do that.
That's important.
Distractions should be defeated.
When you say that, Siantel just coughs a couple of times and then just pardons herself and
The distractions which we can overcome, we should overcome.
Are you okay?
Oh, Pyres, it's not like everybody doesn't already know that you're just a walking distraction.
Oh, but we can use that to our advantage.
It's true.
If
I
he's
don't always
distracting
walk.
you, we can enforce a shirts on rule in the barracks.
She looks Pyres up and down. It's not a bad distraction.
Thanks. I take some practice. I am very happy to provide myself to be a distraction. If I can suggest, I think we need to find out a bit more about where Juin is going to meet her associates. I want to talk to Tepet Single Edge. She seems to be someone who can, like, find stuff out. She doesn't hate me.
Even if she hates you, you can still get information from her.
Well, I can.
You can use it to your advantage.
I can use the fact that she hates me to my advantage?
Absolutely.
Okay.
People will say many things when they're distressed
Or distracted.
or distracted.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I can do that.
Tepet Single Edge, I'm just doing these single-armed chin-ups here. And
No, like outside her window, I'm just like
Yeah.
pulling myself up, just like, oh, hey, it's so good to see you again. I just horrible.
all right, get going.
Yep. I head to the library with a couple of books to return in my arm.
Horribly.
I'm following.
Yay!
Hail the conquering hero.
I'm gonna try to fix this a little bit. That's okay.
When you get to the library, there's a few students milling about, doing their research, writing papers. Ugh.
Ugh.
They have class.
Good thing I didn't go there.
I head up to Bracken.
She raises her eyebrows.
I've heard that there will be a gateway tournament this week.
Yes.
If you have time for extra practice, I would appreciate it.
Extra practice.
Yes.
And you believe that there's something somehow that I can teach you about Gateway?
You taught me something last time.
They're not going to be playing the reflective game.
All right, then. We don't have to play Gateway.
Dot.
What is it?
I have questions.
Questions that need answering.
Yes. The three of us were saved from expulsion, and I don't know why, but I think you know more than you're letting on, so...
Now, are you saying this like in full view of the other students who are...
No, I'm saying it quietly.
Okay. You'll have to come to my office.
Aresta has books to return.
Oh. But do you know where the book chute is?
Yes, I do so, and I'm like
Hello.
going off to the stacks to find more.
I follow to the office.
It's not hard for you to find a place where you can eavesdrop if that's your intention.
Yeah.
Considering that you have certain advantages in that respect.
Should I be activating that charm?
Yes, if you want to be able to hear.
Yes, I will do so.
One thing is that this is a military academy, but it is also a dynast academy, so there are some very comfortable chairs close to like fireplaces and stuff like that. So you can find one that's just on the other side of Bracken's office wall and just lean back and...
This fireplace is so nice and warm. Yes.
Ah!
And why is it that you believe that I have information that I haven't passed along to you?
Because nobody on the faculty is telling us anything.
So clearly we're all just concealing from you.
Everybody seems to be working at cross purposes, but I have heard no one declare that they are working cross purposes with you. Therefore, I think you have information from the people who like the games and the people who detest the games. And I also think you know the circumstances around our expulsion.
You were not expelled. If you were expelled,
Exactly.
you would not be here.
The circumstances around why we were saved from expulsion.
I know it was Juin who decided to speak up for you.
So do I. Do you know why?
You would have to ask Juin. But I know that it was difficult for her to convince Nuven. It was simply too easy to just eliminate Three Fangs entirely, whether or not you were innocent. After all, you would have found some other way to make your way through the world, and it would have been much easier on the House of Bells. Cleaner. And yet, it was her impassioned plea that kept you here. She only spoke for you three. She did not speak for anyone else.
That's not what she said. She said she tried to save more, but was only able to save 3.
Then perhaps she's lying to you. All I remember was that she specifically was attempting to rescue the 3 of you.
And you don't know why that is.
Why you 3 are different from the others?
Yes.
Perhaps you're more valuable pieces.
So that is your hypothesis? We are more valuable pieces?
Would you sacrifice a vanguard in order to protect your flag?
No, she answers whatever the right answer is.
The right answer. So good.
There's a certain value in every piece on the board. But some pieces are not as valuable as others. And a true master understands when it's time to sacrifice in order to gain ground. Nuven believed that it was important to sacrifice everyone. Juin believed that it was important, perhaps, to realize that you had more value than they were ascribing to you. She's playing the game as if it's obscured, not open.
So value as in our ties to our two houses, our abilities.
Do you honestly believe that your houses make any difference here?
I don't believe mine does, no. Kavak might.
Houses make a difference, and yet at the same time, we have to look at this from a perspective of loyalty to the realm. Are you disloyal?
No.
Is Aresta?
No.
Pious?
No.
I believe that. I believe that you're ready to fight for the common good. Ready to serve the realm. Now, did you have any suspicions about anyone else in your fangs?
No, I don't.
Which means that it's possible that they were sacrificed to protect a greater asset.
I would like to read intentions.
Okay, that would be a good thing to do.
I mean, there's a million things I want to find out, but we'll start with intimacies towards the realm.
The realm. Nice.
Okay. Sure. Her guile is currently 3.
Oh, boy.
And you'll get your stunt.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, you can help her by, like, banging your head on the wall at the most inopportune time to distract her. Like, what was that?
Arrested.
Not quite there yet.
I mean, if you thunk your head against the wall will probably break.
Yeah.
2
I'd rather
successes.
not knock all the books down.
Fuck me.
Rip.
Sorry?
2 successes. Okay. What do you think of Viren and his games?
I believe that the games themselves... Viren is coming from a position of entertainment. I'm not convinced that that's the right move.
He's using entertainment as distraction.
Either distraction or to his own end. But there isn't any form of entertainment for students in watching the games. There's points of pride, but he's making it out to be a show. These games are not supposed to be shows. They're supposed to be ways for us to improve and learn. Do you feel that you've learned anything in participating in these games?
No, I haven't.
Do you feel as if it's really enriched anyone's education at all?
No. I do not believe the games are for our benefit.
Then why are they here?
Viren says it is to see who takes advantage of the chaos.
Is that what he told you?
It is. I'd like to read intentions again. Intimacies towards Viren?
Okay.
Come on, there's dice.
Dice.
Oh, fuck off. Yeah, 2 successes again.
Son of a...
Next
Alas,
time I'm
her
spending
guile is not
willpower.
2.
Next time I'm spending willpower. Okay.
You need to get that socialize excellency so that you can
Seriously.
at least-
Think of Viren.
Socialize. Faculty.
Yeah.
Socialize. Among books.
Yeah. I love among
They give me
books as a specialty.
strength.
That's really good.
Socialize
Facts.
over a game.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I spoke to you of the reflective game. and how difficult it can be, because every time you make a move, immediately all the pieces now belong to your opponent, right?
Right.
Even if everyone's on the same side, that doesn't mean they all have the same agenda. And it doesn't mean that they all don't want to win. Be careful. Because those who are out there searching for someone to be some sort of traitor, they may not be interested in finding out a traitor to serve the realm. They may be interested in becoming known as the one who found a traitor.
So what is your agenda?
Well, clearly it's to gain sweets.
I didn't bring any today.
Whoops.
I noticed.
I'll bring some tomorrow.
I've been here for some time. I've seen many students come and go. My goal? Maintain order here. A library is nothing without order. Information is nothing if it cannot be accessed. A book that is never read is only kindling.
Do you have any books on sorcery?
Ooh.
Yes.
I would like to read one, please.
Why?
Because I'm interested.
You're interested in learning the sorcerous arts.
Not necessarily. But I would like to know about them before I decide if I'd like to pursue that path.
You know that I'm supposed to report anybody who expresses an interest in sorcery. It isn't forbidden. But the faculty does like to keep eyes on those who are interested in such things.
What if I bring 2 sweets tomorrow?
I cannot be held responsible for what my assistants do under my watchful gaze. I cannot be everywhere at once. After all, I'm not UN.
Right.
Can I, listening, read intentions on this statement?
You absolutely
Please, for the love
can.
of God.
Intimacy is towards Juin.
You win. The traitor. Happy, like joy or loyalty or whatever. Oh, that'd be great.
4 successes.
Thank God.
Yay!
Bracken has at least 1 intimacy towards Juin. She has a minor intimacy of curiosity.
Odd.
One
I'm
might
just
say
musing.
Curious.
Yeah, you might even say that. Yeah, just musing that's a bit odd. Anyway, just saying.
Are you being careful?
Of course.
You have revealed to me that you have been speaking with Viren. You have revealed to me that Viren has given you information that you shouldn't have. I'm meant to believe that this means that you're placing a certain amount of trust towards me. Let me repay that to you in kind. It is essential that whatever you do here, you be very careful that you do not come out as the villain.
Why would you think that's a possibility?
Because you were already on the chopping block once. Juin saved you. For that, I'm appreciative. I don't have that sort of clout. But I don't know why. And I certainly know that if at all possible, if you are made out at all to be the villain, it will be very easy for them to cut you out like a festering wound and lay the question of all your fangs to rest. That includes Flavienne and Siantel. They've allied with themselves with you now, yes?
They made their decision.
Do you trust them?
Yes.
Then I suppose I should have to trust them as well.
If being saved from expulsion means that I just have to dance around on a battlefield for people's amusement while blocking out all my senses to what's going on around me, then that is worthless to me.
She leans back and she looks incredibly pleased at what you just said.
I will never, ever stop trying to look for answers.
Where there are answers, there are solutions, and there is hope for the future.
Gail's gonna get up to leave.
Gail whispered,
Turns back.
Analysis. Pyres and Aresta, and Siantel and Flavienne for that matter.
Why don't you speak to them yourself?
Because I wish to hear from you.
I don't think I wish to analyze them right now.
She grits her teeth at this. She stands up. You don't wish. You come here and make demands. Of a faculty member, I bring you into my office. I answer your questions as best I can. And you aren't willing to reciprocate by answering a simple question that I give you. To what do I owe this?
You've asked me if I can trust them. I have said yes. You've asked me if I believe them to be threats. I have said no. I have given you my analysis throughout our entire conversation.
She is reading intentions.
Okay.
What is your current guile?
3.
Okay. She is attempting to discover whether you have any intimacies towards other members of your fang.
Cool.
Pretty sure you can stunt Guile up.
And
as well,
she
'cause- oh,
definitely succeeds.
Oh, never
Cool.
mind.
Yeah,
Don't bother.
I'll remember that for next time.
She learns any intimacies that you have specifically towards your entire fang. Do you have any?
The Fang of the Lost Hand, minor tie, loyalty.
Okay.
I'd like to stand up and pick a book up off the shelf.
I wish you luck.
I'll see you tomorrow.
And
Thank
I
you
know you-
for the conversation.
And I'd like to quickly cross to be like right outside her office.
Bring your set next time.
All right.
We'll use your board. She's never asked this before. She has a collection of gateway boards that show different variants of the game. She's never asked to see yours.
This could either be a compliment or a huge insult.
This isn't an insult. This is definitely curious behavior. I mean, it'd be the equivalent of if I was going to visit you and you were like, "Oh yeah, no, totally. Let's play King of Tokyo, but you bring your set." Like, why? You have one.
Yeah.
Why?
I ate them all.
And hey, Super Dawn.
Hello, Raiders.
Hopefully you enjoyed your Stardew Valleying.
Oh, so good. Yeah, so I'd like to be right outside the door of the office.
Like, right,
Commander.
Sorry.
I'd like to kind of gesture to Aresta to follow me.
I should point out that when faculty call you Commander, it's a little tongue-in-cheek.
Okay.
That you do not hold any specific rank or more rank than the other cadets.
No.
This is more of a like, you're the commander of this fang. We'll acknowledge that for now. If they no longer believe that you're the commander, they'll stop calling you that.
Okay.
But it's not like there's a little bit of like, oh yeah, commander. Eh.
I'd like to find more novels by this author, and I'd like to hand her whatever random book I pulled off of the shelf.
I'm certain that Gale Whispered would be able to help you find whatever you need.
Yes, come with me. It's in the erotica section.
Yes! I'd like to
The Thousand Ways of the Upright.
take a moment to either look into Bracken's eyes, or if she isn't looking at me, then at least try to read her expression as she looks at presumably Gale. I'm trying to get a sense on what she was trying to accomplish with her conversation with Gale.
Okay.
So I'm trying to read intentions.
It's her intentions for the scene, or was it her
For the
intention
scene.
or her? Okay, so it's not her
No
intimacies towards Gale Whisper.
No, it's her intentions for that scene.
Aha.
Oh, for that's smart, because you were listening to it, and then you're like checking what she's. Yeah.
Boop. One success. Should have used
Oh,
some modes.
God, we suck. Damn.
I will follow Gale off towards wherever theoretically this author's books are located. And I'd actually like to just walk over and refile it where I found it.
Scott?
Yes. I'm on the hunt for Tepet Single Edge. Your friend and mine. I don't know.
Tepet Single Edge can be found still in the barracks.
If she is with her fang.
Her fang that...
Oh, sore subject. I actually was honestly, I'm having trouble keeping track of which fangs are still together. Isn't that shitty?
They're still together, aren't they?
They're still together.
Oh, okay.
We were supposed to face off against them, but then we forged the
Yes.
the
Sorry,
summons.
the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the end of that.
Specifically, Single Edge. Single Edge is fangmates with Kenton, who is also there.
Okay. So I'm gonna. What I would like to do, come into the scene, knock politely. Single Edge, do you have us? And then kind of freeze when I see Kenton, and then I'm gonna try to look really bashful. Excuse me, Kenton. Do you mind if I borrow your fangmate for just a minute or two?
I am not my fangmate's keeper. You do whatever you have to do.
Thanks. I just have a couple things I want to.
Shut up.
Talk to
And
her
Single
about.
Edge just gets up, walks over. So, where do we gonna go? We don't have to talk here.
Yeah. No, I know a place that's
Why don't you take me there? And she
Okay.
whirls around and she looks at Kenton. You need to stay here, and you need to make sure that you have all of my work done. And then she looks back. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. I think Pyres was, playing something but now he Pringle. But he is very impressed by this turn of events. Can I read intentions on Tepet Single Edge? Nope. Can I read intentions on Kenton? Intimacies towards Single Edge.
Yeah.
Rush.
So as she's turning around, then I just want to see if I can catch her hand and be like, "Oh, don't worry, Kenton, we'll be right back," as a way of trying to like coax his emotions out of him.
Cool. That's a good stunt. Go for it.
Thanks, man. I'm just trying to remember my Puel here. There we go. Yes, his guile. I should have asked before I rolled. Sorry.
His guile's 2.
Yes. Yes, there are 8 successes here.
All right. I'll let you actually ask that, and you can ask for one more of either him or Single Edge.
Oh, yeah.
So, does he have any intimacies towards Tepid Single Edge? Yes. He has 2. I will give them both to you, and you can still ask for another one with 8 successes.
Woo!
He has an intimacy of unrequited love.
Oh!
It's minor.
Oh, no!
And an intimacy of distrust.
Now the plot thickens. Although, actually, you know what? I do understand that. Is that also minor?
Yes.
Okie dokie. So I mean, I can get a pretty good sense, I think, from Single Edge's like tone, how she's dealing with him, what her relationship with Kenton is. But I would love to know if she has intimacies towards Kenton that might not be immediately apparent.
Sure. Tepid Single Edge has an intimacy of indifference. Deliberate indifference. It's minor.
That's very funny.
Good grief.
And I feel like Pyrus is going to squirrel this away, and part of his head is just going to be like, drama
Now
mama.
that is a
drama mama, and I do
thing.
not care for it. He does care for it. So I'm going to take Single Edge to the river. I'm going to take her to the forest where we went with Leanne that one time.
Okay.
There's a bit of privacy there. I think I'm making a big. I think I'm making a big show of like being really kind of bashful and like kind of kicking my feet a little bit as we go, trying to play up a little bit that I, maybe want to like talk to Single Edge and like maybe like ask her out or whatever.
So what's on your mind, Pyres?
As soon as we're in this sort of, I don't know, glade or whatever, or not glade, this like area, this wooded area, I'm just going to turn to her and drop the act. What's on my mind? Single Edge. A lot, honestly. And of course, my fang mates are always there for me. And of course, I have many people in my fang who are real smart and they get stuff, but I need help. And when it comes to untangling knots, you're the person I thought of first.
You already saved me from Juin's lash, so I'd say that I owe you one.
Okay. Hey, thanks. I mean, hopefully it doesn't have to be a favor. Hopefully this is something we can do for each other.
Let's see what we can do for each other.
I'm worried about Brevin.
And why are you worried about him?
Well, I'm sure you know because he's an absolute loudmouth. He's making a real big show of recruiting people, trying to persuade them that it's, students versus faculty. Not all the time, but just that he's amassing power. That's the sense I get. Well, what do you mean, of course?
Of course he's amassing power. It's what he's wanted. It's what he's always wanted.
Yeah, I guess. Here's my worry.
Mm-hmm.
There's something going on around the games, which, unless you've cracked the code, I sure haven't, so I don't know what exactly they're doing here, other than trying to sow a bit of chaos. Brevin's response to this paranoia, Single Edge, it's to do this. It's to amass power, and I'm worried he's gonna do something really stupid that's gonna take the rest of us down with him. So what I would like.
What do you want to do about it? Or are you just looking for my advice?
Well, I was looking for your advice. Where would I be without you? I also want you to keep an eye on him because I can't. In return, if there's anyone that you need more information on, I can do that for you.
Okay. Yeah, I can keep an eye on him. He's being an idiot. I get it. And yet at the same time, he's taking advantage of a situation for his own personal gain, and I can't fault him for that either. So here's what I can tell you. I'll keep an eye on him, and I'll make sure that I track his movements, because I know that not only does he have his merry little band now, but they aren't going to let you get any closer to him either.
Exactly.
Now, who do I want to know about? I want to know about you, Pyres.
I don't have a mirror on me at all times. I can't keep track of myself.
Don't worry. If you needed somebody to tell you what you looked like, I'm sure you'd find someone.
Yeah, and there's always the lake, too.
What do you see in Brevin?
What do I see in Brevin?
What do you see in Brevin? That you don't see in me.
Okay. I see how this... Shit. Sorry. Yeah, no, hang on. I'm taking a little half second.
God. It's better the more I reread it.
It's great. Single Edge, I see in you mysteries, secrets, the possibility of uncovering ancient civilizations or knowledge long kept, either
There's no
over time or all at
mysteries
once.
here, Pipes. There's no mysteries here. She reaches forward and she just flicks one of the buttons of her buff jacket so that it falls open just a little bit. I'm an open book.
Not yet.
You just have to decide if you want to read it.
Now here's the question I always had about books. Do you always start at the beginning? Sometimes I like to jump
Skip
in.
to the climax, and she pushes you against a tree.
Oh! Sorry, that's good. Just jump that shit up. I'm gonna need to take a minute. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding.
Oh, well, we can focus on somebody else if you need to.
Woo! That's delicious. What I see in Brevin is the allure and the danger of a volcano that could destroy a whole corner of creation if he wanted to. Are you dangerous?
You don't think I'm dangerous?
That's my question. What page would I find that on? Single Edge?
Well, I don't know. Why don't we find out if we can find somebody else who can erupt?
I'm going to reach in and... Sorry, Jesus. I'm going to reach in and mimic what she did and pop another button on her buff jacket.
I'm tired of taking this slow. I'm going to offer you the chance to stop her. But
Okay.
she wants to find an eruption.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna check my intimacies here. I think I know where we're going. I just want to make sure that everything's okay. Yeah, we're good. My charms. Let me just do this. No, I do not. Yeah, I'm gonna give in to the aggressive desire that is coming off of her right now, and reciprocate right here in this little patch of woods.
She's
I'll
not
write my table
interested
of
in you
contents.
reciprocating right now.
John, could I make her interested if I'm reciprocating right now? Could I try to turn the tables on this
We can
interaction?
determine that. Would you like to try a persuade action?
Yeah.
All right, and what intimacy are you trying to...
She has a minor intimacy of fascination towards me. I can also supplement this persuade roll with warm-faced seduction style.
I'm going to say that you've convinced me.
Okay, I'm gonna.
His face is so warm.
It's
God.
so clammy. I'll like physically. I think just for the stunting nature of it as well.
Then I will make it the following clear. Her intention was to basically give Pyres whatever he wanted, as long as it was in a certain direction. But
right.
She was not intending to give in to her own desire, which when you do that, it comes as a shock to her, but a pleasant one.
Okay, good. As long as we're all happy, consenting.
But she also
here.
chooses not to leave the forest.
Me neither.
And then just from behind a tree, Juin's just like...
Takes notes, yeah.
Oh, God.
Readies her whip. Yeah, I'm ready to leave that scene.
All right, so that happened. Back to you
really
two.
So what erotic literature did you want to read?
I didn't really care. I was just trying to get a read on her.
I look forward to hearing your thoughts. I have to get a book.
Yes. Do that. I'll put this book back where it belongs.
I was hoping you could lean against a shelf and sort of block what I'm going to be taking from the shelf.
Oh, yeah, I really do need to lean.
Swipes a book on sorcery.
Well, maybe I do, like looking at if there are any other students, maybe I do want this book. Like hold up the Rolling in the Hay, Volume 3.
So I would point out that a military academy wouldn't have tons of uses for straight up erotica. However, there's plenty of historical literature that basically is erotica.
Also known as my teenage years. Oh, sorry.
Base Camp. Shared Bunks, Volume 3. There
Just
we
a
go.
picture of Liz going. Oh boy.
Pearl-faced courtesan style, or whatever.
Pretty much.
You can find something sufficiently smutty if you wish. However, at one point, the door to the library opens up and in walks in Garavel. Garavel smiles. Remember, he's the professor who's a little more kind of... he's the one who's a little more sort of like, hey, everybody, I'm here to be here with the students and enjoy the being slightly more popular with the students and all that. But now he moves forward and just sort of straight up goes right into Bracken's office, opens the door without knocking and closes it.
I would like to exchange glances with Aresta, and hopefully we both at the exact same time start stepping towards the office.
Yes.
Perfect.
So you said I could find more from this author over here.
Yes, I did. Follow me. It's such a pleasure to speak with an inquisitive mind.
Who is in my family, who I speak to all the time. Weirdo.
You're listening in?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that this is still the same
Same
scene,
scene.
so you can continue.
you.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You can't piss off Viren. He's going to come after you too. I know exactly what I'm doing. You need to concern yourself with making sure that everyone stays healthy. I have to concern myself with making sure that everyone here stays alive.
Whoop.
Big words from a librarian. Find the fault in my stars. Now, if you'll excuse me, you need to be very careful. I know that she's important to you, but there's others attached to her that we also have to protect. You're not doing a good enough job. I'll thank you kindly for staying out of my business. And then he turns, opens the door, and when he closes it, he looks like he's about to slam it and then realizes that he's in a library, and so he just lets it click shut. Commander.
Oh, I wasn't right outside the front, but I'm with them, like in the first row.
Yeah, he sees you. With me.
I'm going to follow.
And he starts to walk out of the library. You're welcome to join him. He didn't in any way say, like, just you.
Yeah.
I will follow because I don't know what Aresta heard, and I really want to find out, so I'm sticking with Aresta.
Oh, yeah. I guess you were just like...
Once he leaves the library, he turns to Aresta. People are going to get hurt. It happens. For some reason, when it happens, you have shown kindness and compassion, which is rare. Most people are interested in getting ahead and don't mind who they have to trample, but you don't. So I have to ask you, just once and for all, is that who you are? Or are you the sort of person who is looking for the best opportunity for herself?
No, that's who I am.
What's your guile?
3.
I succeed. Do you have any intimacies towards putting yourself first or putting others before you?
No.
Okay, that's fine. That's the only answer you need to
Yeah.
give. But it means specifically that you don't have an intimacy of fuck the rest of them.
No, it's not like I'm better than others or others are better than me or anything like that. No.
Friends are merely another rung on my ladder to success.
Defining.
Val? Is that you?
Must not go down that path.
Let's not go down that path. She says, holding her sorcery book tighter in her pocket. God damn it, Liz.
Well, if you're coming out and asking me questions like this, then I'm going to ask you one. Who is Bracken protecting? Is it Gil Whispered?
I'm sure you can tell. Every teacher has their pet.
Why are you afraid of urine?
You asked for one question.
Doesn't mean I can't ask more.
Viren is trying to get students hurt for no other reason other than to satisfy some sort of innate showmanship. We have to understand that there will be issues. This isn't a military academy and injuries will happen, but they don't have to.
Sorry, I completely missed that. I shouldn't be paying attention to tech right now.
I'll repeat.
Yeah.
What he's doing is essentially finding ways to injure students in order to show himself off. In a military academy, people get hurt. It's natural. However, I don't like students getting injured for no other reason than to satisfy his ego.
There's more to him than that. There's more to everyone here than that, it would seem.
Maybe. We're doing our best.
Everyone has motives at this school.
I imagine that people's motives are to graduate.
Not just students, sir.
The princes of the earth are not immune to the desires of everyone. Sadly. You seem to have a good head on your shoulders. Keep it attached. The next time I see you in my infirmary, I hope that it's for somebody else and not for you.
Tell whoever keeps writing our messages, challenging us to these games. And yes, that slip is intentional.
Then keep your eyes on Viren. And he leaves. And that's when you can hear some shouts as a scuffle is taking place closer to the barracks.
I was gonna say, and that's when you hear that petit mort from the woods.
I was gonna say, you hear some shouts.
Yeah, it's
they
that
echo
turtle
from the forest.
humming a shoot. All right, then I guess we hasten our ways back towards the bar.
We hasten like Julie Andrews in the Princess Diaries too. Royal engagement.
And
Well
then I will
What a
fill you
pull.
in. I'll fill in Gale on the way about what I heard in the room.
You know, while Pyres is filling in.
Yeah. Well,
Oh. I do my eyes widen several times at all the information I'm taking in.
your eyebrows raise like 1 millimeter, which is like extreme shock for Gale.
Yeah.
You see Kenton. Kenton's face is in the dirt, and Flavienne's foot is resting quite lightly, but still very prominently on his rib cage. Siantel is behind the crowd, but keeping a very careful eye on it. Is there anyone else? And then she sees you approaching, and then she snaps to attention as best she can while still keeping her foot on top of Kenton's ribcage.
Did you catch a rat? Or perhaps a roach?
There are those who should be more careful when they speak of others.
Well, repeat yourself, Kenton.
He lifts his head, and you can see that his jaw is hanging a bit askew to what it should be.
Ooh.
I know there's a reason why you are all still here. I just have to find it. The reason is simple. They were always allowed to be here.
Is that the word choice he used?
It was somewhat more vulgar.
Garavel isn't going to be happy.
Oh, no. And she reaches down and she pulls him up by his buff jacket and then sets him on his feet and then reaches forward and just, as if like fondly holding his face, just says, "There is no need to visit any doctor here." Crack.
Oh.
And then she pats him on the cheek very lightly and then leans forward and then in a voice which, you know what sotto voce is?
Mm-mm.
Right? So like a whisper that everyone's supposed to hear. Accusations are very, very dangerous when you have nothing to back them up. I will defend anyone who does not deserve your venom.
I'll move to stand next to Sientel.
Ask us questions if you have them.
Sientel is holding one of her fists closed and it's behind her back, and she sort of jerks her fist slightly as if she wants you to take whatever she's holding in it.
I go to take it.
And she drops a piece of paper into your hand.
If I'm not being observed, I will read it.
It shows your name, Pyres' name, and Aresta's name, along with your houses. And it also indicates who your parents are and what the relative net worth of your families are.
Dang. If you have questions, we'll answer them. Ask me anything.
Who would win in a fight? One duck-sized horse? Or
One horse-sized duck?
one horse-sized duck? Or
Yeah, definitely not 100 horse-sized ducks. That's insane.
Quack, quack, quack,
Quack, quack.
Sorry.
You don't seem to understand. There is... No, she doesn't say
Yeah.
this to you.
Yeah.
There is no conspiracy here. There were traitors and they are gone. Those who remain are not.
Ask your questions. You don't have to sneak around. You don't have to speak ill of others who aren't present. Ask me here. Ask Gale.
Who in your fang is the traitor?
No one in my fang is a traitor. Who in your fang is a traitor?
And then he looks and he realizes that not all of his fang is present.
At that moment, a cluster of birds just fly out from the forest.
You hear something along the lines of like you should change your name to Double Edge. No, obviously not. I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
Oh, chicka chicka.
Somewhere in the
I would
distance, you hear the sound of a
assume,
sprite opening. It's
don't
odd.
believe any of your fang mates to be traitors. Otherwise, I would think that as a good subject of the realm, you would turn them into the proper authorities.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yes. I'm trying to find them. There's none to be found here.
I'd like to read his intimacy towards traitors.
Traitors? Sure.
Yeah.
While this is happening, John, I just want to quietly ask Sientel, did he have this?
And then she... 2 successes?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good enough. His guile's only 2.
Nice.
He has an intimacy. It is a defining intimacy.
Ooh.
I will find and destroy all traitors to the realm.
Oh boy.
I mean,
Sientel leans her head back so that she can whisper more quietly into your ear, but there's a moment where her breath catches just for a second, and then I found this on him, and that's why Flavienne got mad.
I would like to whisper back. How did you find it?
Just because someone doesn't want to talk doesn't mean the knowledge isn't important.
Gale kind of like half smirks at this.
If you want to find traitors, you need to actually look for them, rather than just assuming they're everywhere. If they're everywhere, they've won.
That seems to be a point, and everyone else just kind of is like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And the crowd starts to disperse. Kenton just,
I'm sorry about your job.
I'm not. And then she realizes that
you to be.
Then she realizes that she spoke against her commander,
No,
and she shuts up.
No, but I say I don't expect you to be, but I am. And I'm sorry that your desire for answers led you astray. We're looking for answers too. But let's look before we accuse. Because if you accuse someone too soon, they might escape. We need to be smart about this. And I'd like to, offer a hand.
He looks at it and he very warily takes it.
I'd like to sort of give him a gentle but firm shake. We're all looking for answers here. Trust who you need to, distrust who you need to. Be smart about it, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm going now.
I turned back to Siantel. How long had this been going on?
I found it this morning.
How long has Flavienne been beating him up?
She had him on his back in about 4 seconds.
So where's Juin?
Shit. Juin is nowhere to be seen.
We should see if she's in her office.
Siantel just squeezes her palm once as like an assent, and then she melts away into the crowd. You can choose to follow her.
I would like to, yes.
Turn back towards my one Fang member.
Well, that was nuts, wasn't it?
Where's Pirates?
Guys?
He went off to talk to Tepet Single Edge, didn't he?
No wonder. No wonder Kenton's so upset. Distracted in the battle.
So what actually happened?
Siantel told me that there was continued investigation into the three of you. I went to ask him about it, and he had some unkind things to say about the three of you.
I appreciate you backing us up.
He was not the one to throw any punch. That was me. It was all me.
We need to watch our image.
We cannot appear weak.
We also cannot appear to be bullies.
He is the one who is bullying you.
I know that. We just have to make sure that others do too. Then I'm gonna look, trying to catch sight of my Fang mates and I assume not be able to.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I think it's funny.
All right. So.
Jeez,
Juin is not in her office.
Ruh-roh.
Bro, indeed.
Siantel looks. She hasn't been here in at least half an hour.
I'd like to check the door to see if I can see an indication of that same marking spell that she did around the...
All right, that's going to be a perception occult, please.
Thank you.
Yes. Good thought.
Boo, 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 doo, boo, doo, boo.
And you can take your 2 dice.
Thank you. I'd love to not fuck this up, so let's throw in some occult excellence.
Pyres,
Secret weeks.
while she's figuring that out,
Mm.
and you can feel the indentation of teeth relax from your shoulder blade. Or not your shoulder blade, your shoulder.
Muscle or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, the blade, I have some questions.
It's like,
That,
I got my bag, yeah. Anyway.
that was... Wow.
I can take that as a compliment.
I don't have anywhere to be just now if you don't.
Just here.
Okay. So stay here.
I don't really know anything about you, Single Edge.
I wouldn't have known. You seem to know quite a bit of what manages to make me tick.
Well, there's knowing things about someone, and then there's going off of instinct when you just feel a connection. I think that's... Well, I just think we have one, is all.
Do you have any identifying marks that wouldn't normally be visible?
sick
Yeah.
tat.
Yeah. Sick tats, yeah. Just says Pyres for life.
I mean, Pyres' shirt is off 95% of the time, so we're talking
but on
things
his-
below the equator.
On your
Yeah,
butt.
I'm gonna... No, on his hip bone, there's like a birthmark. I don't know. I don't think it sort of resembles anything, but it's kind of a.
It
It's
looks
kind of a
suspiciously like an eclipse cast mark.
It's a no
Secret
moon.
traitor.
Yeah.
Secret anathema.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's kind of just a blotch, and he's like, he's not embarrassed by it. Of course, he's very proud of his body, but he's not like showing it off specifically.
Okay. How many successes?
So I didn't ask the diff. Was that for my knowledge?
Because you know what you're looking for, but because it's not easy to find, 3.
Okay.
You got 2.
Yeah, I did. Because I'm
can't-
rolling like fucking ass
That's
today.
actually ridiculous.
It's terrible.
A lot of
I'm
dice.
furious at my dice.
You do not see any evidence of this surrounding her door.
So in this case, John, I have a question for you. Can I tell that I'm not like that my observation is like kind of cloudy, that I'm not doing my best, or am I sure that I don't see anything?
You're not sure.
Okay.
Sure would be as if you botched. In this case, you're like, I don't see anything. But the thing is, the absence of seeing something is never a guarantee that you're not missing it. And I think Gale Whispered would know that.
Yeah. Because of what I saw yesterday, I can't. If I were her, I would make sure.
So Siantel lifts a finger. Tell me what to look for and I'll help.
It's a ring of some kind.
Okay.
It's what she was casting at the battlefield, at the glade.
The thing that marks.
Yes. If
How
she
did
knows we're in here, we're dead.
How did she create the ring?
She used like a circle of what looked like seeds.
Let me see if I can help, okay?
Uh-huh.
So she starts placing her fingers close to the edge of the office and just starts running it along the floorboards and then looks up. Here. Down.
Crouch down to look.
You see that there's evidence that there are markings here, but these are old and have been used. They contain no trace of that sorcerous energy that you were detecting earlier.
I think this is the most sure we can be. We're still taking a risk, but I need to know.
With a single tap of her fingers, the door unlocks. I'll stay out here to keep watch.
Can you teach me how to do that sometime? That was really good.
I'll teach you anything. Go.
What is that? And then the door closed.
What do you mean?
What do you...
You are now inside Juin's office.
Cool.
It is remarkably Spartan, as I believe I mentioned before.
Episode 1.
There is a closet. There's tatami mats that are spread out over the floor. She doesn't sleep often in her office, but it seems like she has a futon that she keeps rolled up, that she's ready to just place it, like a Japanese style futon, not a Western style. So that if she ever needed to stay here for whatever reason, she could. There's no desk. There's a small wash basin and wash room off to the side. But otherwise just like almost suspiciously Spartan.
I'd like to take off my shoes and make an investigation roll.
Are you taking off your shoes just so that Aragorn likes you more?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the
You may
reason.
make an investigation roll. This is a
Always.
perception investigation. You can
Great.
have 2 dice for your stunt.
For sure.
Thank you.
Believe it or not, all you have to say is, I take my shoes off. And I'm like, okay, that's more interesting than just saying,
Good luck.
I'm going to look around.
I should have done so too then.
You kept your socks on, didn't you, Pyres?
Oh, there you are, you little shits. Thank you.
No, Pyres isn't a piece of garbage.
That's 5 successes.
There is one of the tatami mats is not set correctly. Now, normally Juin is exact, precise. But this mat is not set as it should.
Okay. I would like to check underneath the mat.
The reason why the mat is not set correctly is because underneath it, there are 4 small strips of a gold-looking material which have been wrapped in a piece of velvet.
Okay, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm putting the mat back in the off-center way that it was.
Gold-looking, Aragorn. It has the distinct impression to you, somebody who has some knowledge of the occult, of orichalcum.
Yeah, I'm getting the fuck out. I gotta get the fuck out. Steal it.
She taps her fingers again against the lock.
Lick it first, then it belongs to you.
Do you come out like looking like, or do you come out looking like
Gale?
Nice.
So like slightly bigger eyes, but otherwise the same.
You don't have to say whatever you just saw. Go somewhere else. We discuss it.
Yes. Yes, we can't talk here.
Let's go to the forest.
Okay. Yes. Let's go to the forest. Post haste.
Run in there loudly, right?
No. Sneaky.
Well, I guess back to the barracks.
With Flivian.
Yeah.
Love.
Do you tell her about anything that you learned?
I'd fill her in.
I trust Bracken.
And I think I trust Garavel as well.
Who could not trust Garavel?
See, maybe he's the big bad.
Because he's so trustworthy.
No one suspects the healer.
No one suspects the what?
The healer, says Kate, of all people. Flashbacks to a parallel universe.
Commander.
The greater good.
Commander, when we spoke, when we had our spin the bottle.
You don't have to call me Commander. But yes.
I know that this is a weakness of mine. I cannot abide others causing discord for the sheer purpose of elevating themselves.
There's a lot of that going on here, it seems.
Now, I should point something out.
Mm-hmm.
The intimacy of I will
Yeah.
implies that it's not like traitors must be.
Yeah, it's
taken
not
to
like
justice.
everyone has to deal with
It's
it. It's I can't.
I
put up with
will
it.
do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hope that you've convinced them.
I mean, he's not wrong. There is a conspiracy. There are traitors. But we need to be smart in our methods.
I understand. I'm glad that you have a clearer head about such things. One thing that Brevin was always good at was using me as a weapon. Telling me where to go, what to do.
I'd hope for you to have a bit more free will than that.
No, the traitor intimacy was Kenton's. I'm just pointing out
Mm-hmm.
that when she said what she said, I'm relating it back to
Yeah.
what she learned.
Mm-mm.
I'm not an idiot, but I don't have a commander's instinct. Not yet.
That's all right.
Thank you. Gale whispered, I'm going to need to ask you to roll your wits stealth, please.
Great.
I will also roll that for Siantel, and I'm going to ask for Pyres to roll his perception awareness.
Great. Can I ask a question of single edge, sort of as? Well, I'll roll
Of
before
course.
before I'm allowed to do anything else. Fuck this.
Are we counting Pyrus as faculty in this?
God, no.
I'm a teacher of love.
Oh,
I'm
no.
not. Oh, make
Never.
it stop.
Minus
Get 'em
10.
out.
All
Stealth
right.
roll, Pyres.
I'm out.
Oh, John, no.
That's it. That's what did it. All right. Well, it was nice
Very
knowing
good.
you all.
Yep. Oh,
And we're
see
back.
ya. Disaster City. Well, I'll. Well,
What did
sorry,
you
I'll
have to
start.
ask?
Her. Yes. I got one success, if that makes any difference to perception awareness.
Okay.
You are focused.
I'm just gonna reach out and like kind of maybe brush her hair back a little bit. And I'm just gonna say, hey, this is a little crazy, but can you promise me something?
Yeah.
What do you need, Pyres?
I want us to promise each other that no matter what happens here at the House of Bells, that we're not going to turn on each other. I need someone outside my fang that I can trust, and I trust you. And there's a lot under the word trust.
A little H in parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
I need that too. How many successes did you get? Okay, well, you definitely don't hear them approaching.
Okay.
Because Siontel scored 6 successes.
Yes.
Nice. Well, I mean, based on this new promise that we just made, I'm gonna go in for another kiss.
How
See what happens.
much or little clothing are you wearing at this point?
Well, my hip bone is visible.
Hip bone's connected to the beep.
Just socks.
Just socks. Don't wear socks.
Now I'm going to ask you for your perception awareness, Gale whispered.
Oh.
I love eye. Me too, Lemon Eater.
That is 2 successes.
Okay, so I botched.
Oh.
But who
Damn it.
botched?
Oh, Siontel.
You, as you're going through the woods, you see this. You notice this kiss happening.
I think this forest is taken.
Siontel flushes a deep crimson, and then you quietly veer off. If she quietly veers off, if you're following her.
Yeah, I'm following.
So, like, you take a half second and then you keep going.
It just takes a little shot
I
of
do like the
wheatgrass.
idea.
Looks like
of-
Single Edge can get it.
Yeah, Gale going by, just like the neck staying in one place as her body keeps moving.
Yeah.
So good.
Siontel starts to, like, you can hear Siontel breathing is going much faster. She's more anxious.
Hey, are you okay?
I'm in over my head.
What do you mean?
I
shouldn't have asked you to go with me back there.
no,
I can keep
no,
all
no,
of
no.
this. I
It's
can
not
keep
that.
all of
It's
this to
not-
myself.
I've never done that before.
What do you mean? Done, like, broken into something. Like, she's whispering, broken into somebody's office.
I've broken into hundreds of offices. I've
Yes,
never done
hundreds.
that.
Oh. Yeah, me neither. But it's I mean,
It's not that I haven't wanted to. I'm in trouble.
why are you in trouble? Just
They're
because
looking for me.
What? What? What?
And she sits down against the base of a tree. I didn't... You messed everything up.
What are you saying right now?
Well, that's just it. Sworn kinship transcends beyond rank, beyond house. I'm not Sinis. And you were never supposed to stand in my way.
Who are you?
I'm just devoted to you now. But there's so many other questions that people are going to ask.
I don't understand.
I'm Excelsi Siantelm.
Now, Gail's eyes widen because Gail knows what this means. Liz does not. Could I request a sec to just figure out the sheer gravity of this?
Fucking liquid. Oh my god.
Oh god.
All right, here we go. Let's
I was thirsty for secrets.
let's get that open for us, shall we?
I have to pee so bad from this tea, but I can't leave. I won't
We'll
leave.
take a washroom break after this. Or we won't. Who knows?
There is no house, Celsi. This remnant holds no seats in the deliberative, claims no prefectures nor satrapies, administers not a single legion, and is only spoken of by its hale and healthy cousins to deride it. This is House Excelsi. It is nothing, but once it was something grand. House Excelsi's elders conspired to assassinate the Scarlet Empress, launching an attempt on her life that failed spectacularly. The Empress made a public example of the house, taking almost a century to carve it up bit by bit before finally striking it from the imperial ledgers. The other great houses didn't stand idly by. They fell on House Excelsi like wild dogs, whether to pursue profit, advancement, or personal grudges, tearing it apart. Only a few households remain, clinging desperately to what few scraps of wealth and privilege they can afford, little better than threshold clans, certainly beneath even the dull, weak blood of House Nellens. This was the Empress's will. There is no House Excelsi. All the better that their cousins should believe it, for the truth.
So, as soon as she says the word Excelsi, I'm gonna leap towards her and try to cover her mouth so she can't say it.
With your chakram or?
No.
I'm just
You can feel her pulse and her neck is pounding.
oh,
Don't. And I look around the forest.
I have to tell the others. I have to tell the others. Or rather, she's trying to say this, but your hand's in front of her mouth and her lips are brushing against your fingertips.
Ooh. Damn it, Gail, not now.
You definitely hear Pyre say the exact same thing for some reason.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. I don't have a plan for this.
When I was 5 years old, I found out what I had to do, and I've been working at it ever since. And then I found a group of people who actually seemed to give a damn, and I've done something that I shouldn't have done. And I don't care about them, I care about you, all of you. Resta and Pyres and Livian.
I'm gonna move my hand to very lightly cup her cheek, and read intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Intimacies towards House Excelsi.
Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, we gotta know. Thanks, Gail.
we gotta know.
You don't explode.
Is
It's not
this
like
important
Fight Club or
enough
some shit.
to use some motes or willpower on?
What's her guile at these days?
It's probably pretty good, I imagine.
Ha! Ha! All right. Hey, willpower. Nice knowing ya.
It's just the one.
All right, 1 willpower. Somebody remind me to get to socialize excellency.
Actually, am going to take a quick washroom break. Sorry, but I do.
No!
No.
No!
What did she get?
I got 2.
I never lied to you. I never once said I lied by omission.
You said you hated your house.
I hate them both.
How do I even know what to believe now without proof, without facts, without something I can hold on to?
You can ask me anything and I will answer whatever I can.
Have you been working against the school?
Against the school? No.
The realm?
No.
What have you been working towards since you were 5 years old?
I was to infiltrate another house, assume that I was a member of Sinus, discover weaknesses, report back to my elder. While I was here, I was to do the same. And that if I was to be given additional instructions, to carry them out.
Were you given additional instructions?
None that have found their way to me.
Do you think they're being intercepted by somebody?
I don't know.
Do you think anybody else knows about this?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna try to read intentions again
Okay.
and see if I can determine if she's telling the truth.
So you can try to discover her intentions for the scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be good.
Yeah, you just can't ask the same question twice.
Yes.
So
Try to discover her intentions for the scene.
There was a solar charm for that.
Hey, there we
Yay.
go. 5, 6 successes.
Yay, Gale.
her intentions for the scene, 6 successes.
Yeah.
Her intentions for the scene are to convince Gale Whispered of the truth.
Nice.
Aresta. You are still alone. You now have 3 missing
Thank
mates.
Yeah. It's me and Flavian chilling at the barracks.
Took off Liv.
And that's when
Enter.
Leanne opens the door.
Come in.
I just have a message. But she comes inside anyway and closes the door.
Is she wearing the bracelet?
Yes.
Is it a scroll?
Yeah.
So, I guess this is replacing yesterday's scroll?
I guess so.
Again, I do the ripping the paper thing rather than the breaking the seal.
It's an exact copy of the scroll that you received yesterday. Or this morning. Or no, last
So
night.
tomorrow at noon, again, same thing.
Same thing.
Joanne?
Yep.
Didn't realize that would require another scroll. I just assumed it was postponed to tomorrow.
I guess this makes it official. Viren gave it to me specifically. And then she indicates her chin towards the window.
Oh, look.
Viren is standing maybe like 30 meters away.
Yeah.
He's never been in sight when you've received one of these before, but he is definitely watching your barracks.
Making sure they're not getting switched and shit.
Oops.
Oh, good. I am such a fan of his. I should go throw my praises at his feet.
It looks like he really wanted to make sure that you got this one. And she says that, and like there's this unspoken, yeah, I know that the messages have been tampered with.
Okay. Well, thank you for your delivery.
Good luck.
Thanks.
And she steps outside.
I'd like to hop out the window towards Viren.
Yeet!
Just like lift lift it and just hop.
You have, I assume, more
like
than
4
athletics
decks and athletics too.
Yeah, easy. Actually, you just need any athletics.
Yeah.
Zip. Yep, you are outside.
And I'd like to stride straight towards him.
Hi! Well met, cadet.
Well met, sir.
I hope you're prepared for your next challenge.
I am. I assumed that it was just going to be the same challenge postponed to tomorrow.
It is. And you will have every opportunity to prove yourself in front of the entire school.
Sorry about that. It's quite an interesting challenge. You're always finding a new way to change the rules.
Greetings, cadet. I hope you're ready for an unforgettable luncheon. I think I might be able to give you some advance warning of what the rules will be.
Oh.
And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out another piece of paper. This one's not sealed.
Mm-hmm.
And he hands it to you.
I'd like to quickly glance at it and then pass it back.
He doesn't seem to expect it back, by the way.
Okay.
So on there, it shows the exact details, which are that the winner is whoever successfully manages to leave the glade at the end of the match. The match is to last 1 hour. The punishment for failure for Juin would be her losing her position and requiring her to atone on the field of battle before returning to the House of Bells.
Woof.
The penalty for the Fang of the Lost Hand losing would be the disbandment of the Fang and a reopening into the inquiry for cadets Aresta, Pyres, and Gale Whispered. And underlined, there will be no ties.
How did you get permission to make these the stakes, sir? These are quite the stakes. Won't the students become completely unruly without a quartermaster? You see, we intend to win, sir.
I believe that Pyres should be allowed to have his weapons back. He has been more than exemplary in proving his loyalty to the realm when he came forward to me alongside the rest and managed to successfully identify Siantel and Flavienne as loyal Dragon-Blooded.
Yes, sir. I find it surprising that a faculty member could lose their position over a game.
She wouldn't lose it forever.
Oh, okay.
And why would you waste everyone's time with an inquiry over us? We've already been cleared. We've already cleared ourselves again now.
That part isn't me.
Oh.
Good luck.
Why are you wasting everyone's time, sir?
I have faith that the Lost Hand will have something to show tomorrow. And he starts to walk away. Now, you could just punch him.
I really want to.
Yay!
You could just, kick him in the back of the knee.
You aren't going to like it.
I don't have to.
Have you figured out who's been rewriting them? Or were you trying to catch them today?
That he ignores and he continues to walk away.
Ah. I would have been tempted.
We don't have photocopiers, so it's print.
Photocopiers?
Doesn't exist. I know.
Photocopiers exist. They're called whirling
Solars.
brush method.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like
They're
the
called
end of
solars,
Mean
yeah.
Girls, and you're going to just walk down the hall throwing
Yeah.
the rules up in the air? Very nice.
I mean,
Pyres.
yep. Yeah.
I better get back to my fang.
Sure you have to?
By the way, Brevon's not going to ever forget you. Whether you want to use that to your advantage or not is up to you.
Evan and I aren't we're rivals. We're not playing nemesis.
She leans forward. Listen, we had a good time, and I'm definitely up to have another one. But don't fucking lie to me. And she starts pulling her clothes back on. There's a smile given throughout that, but...
Yeah. So good. I'm not trying to lie to you. I meant what I said.
I meant what I said too. But don't lie to me.
Okay.
And she looks down again, and she looks up, and she smiles, she nods a little bit privately, and then she turns. Then she looks back over her shoulder. You know where to find me.
I was thinking the same thing.
And she trails one of her hands along one of the trees as she walks out of the forest.
Pyres, I'm gonna stand up and then fully do Aladdin after he sees Jasmine off. He goes, yes, and he falls back onto his magic carpet. I don't have a magic carpet, so I'm hoping there's a pile of leaves so I don't break my back. Yeah.
Then you're going to get tossed into the sea or what?
You just do some
probably.
squats, you got to keep those
You don't want anything to cramp up. So yeah, that's very important. No, I'm gonna put my clothes back on and head back to the barracks. I've been gone for long enough with very little to show for it. Oh boy. Well, lots to. Anyway, you understand.
Gale whispered.
Did you say that you had a contact at the school?
No.
Or were you here alone?
As far as I know, I am the only one here.
And what about Sinis Bracken? Does that mean you've been working against her?
I had to keep an eye on her.
What have you discovered?
She has secrets that I can't penetrate. Hers is the only office that I've never been able to break into.
Have you found the anathema at the school?
Sorry, I'm going to revise what she said because I realized I said something and it's not quite. Hers is the only office I've tried to break into and failed.
Gotcha.
That's better. She hasn't broken
I was like,
into every
tell
office.
me what's been in everybody's offices, please,
Right now.
and thank
She did
you.
say hundreds.
Everything's forgiven.
So, she says that. If you wish to repeat your question, you can.
Have you found the anathema? If there is one.
No. I haven't found any evidence of there being any anathema here.
Are you telling the truth?
If her heart was on her sleeve, you could see it visibly breaking.
Oh.
Told you I would tell you anything you needed to know.
My brain's still fuzzy.
Why?
Because of all the new information, I guess.
She looks into Gale Whispered's eyes for a second, and she isn't sure whether she can believe that, but there's a conscious decision for her not to pursue that line of questioning. I'm
Yes, we
here.
should.
What new information do you have? Can I help?
I think we should tell everyone together.
Yeah.
Bold move.
But I should tell you that if this gets out, that's not something they expel you for.
No one will hear it from me.
If you decided that it needed to happen, you or anyone else in our Fang, I'd understand.
No one will hear it from me.
Why?
I don't have an answer to that. But I need to think, and to think properly, I need to not be looking at you, so I'm gonna go back to the barracks.
When should I come back?
You should follow. It's not safe.
I'll be 20 paces behind.
And Gail gets up and leaves and tries her best to clear her brain so she can be pragmatic and objective. It doesn't really work.
So why don't you roll me your wit's integrity, please?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Hey, I think you have some.
Well, that's 2 successes.
Okay. So you can feel yourself reasonably shedding some. I mean, it's up to you to decide specifically. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you how to play your character, but with 2 successes on an integrity roll like that, you can at least temporarily ignore any intimacies you may have towards Siantel in an effort to try and figure things out.
She's going to try to do that for the walk back to the barracks, at least.
You encounter pyres just outside the forest, I assume, because you're headed back.
Oh yeah. I thought you were going to say I assume clothed. Yes.
Well, you're clothed to the degree that you wish. There, Scott.
Relatively. Wait, you said Scott. That's just kidding. Gail, did you manage to find anything out from Bracken?
I found a lot of things out today.
Well, that's a haunted look if I've ever seen one. Come on. I'm gonna guide her towards the barracks.
You notice Siantel coming out of the forest about a minute later, walking behind you.
Mm-hmm. If I turn to like look back towards her, does she like acknowledge me?
She looks stricken.
Hey, Gail, Siantel's going the same place we are. Should we wait up for her?
You go ahead. I have to go to the bathroom.
Funny, she's never gone to the bathroom before.
Never, ever.
What is this, Star Wars?
It's a bladder of steel.
This is 24. I will wait up for Siantel and look after Gail. Like,
Hey, Pyres.
Hey, everything okay?
Yeah,
Gail
yeah.
seems
We have to talk.
Oh. Hey, look, I'm more than okay with look.
I know you're
think,
more than okay.
Thanks. I was just gonna say Gail and I are getting a little closer now, and I just wanted to say I think you two are really cool. So.
Sorry,
Talk.
you two. Which you two do you mean?
Oh, Siantel and Gail whispered.
What do you mean that we're really cool? What do you mean?
So, well, okay. Why don't you tell me what you need to tell me? And
I need to tell all of you at the same time.
Oh, it's
and it has
serious,
nothing to
then.
do with you and Single Edge.
What do you? Huh? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, what can I do for you then, Siantel? We're gonna play that
What
game.
do you mean between me and Gail whispered? What do you mean?
Oh, this is serious.
Can we just go back to the barracks, please?
Yeah, of course. Come on, let's go.
God.
You're making me nervous here.
When I assume that you return there.
Yeah, I'm gonna storm back to the barracks. And I'm not
Are you like going in the
pleased.
normal door? Or are you going in?
I'll go in the normal door.
Just one of these, like, smash the door open.
Gail whispered.
I like throw the paper at.
I actually
yeah.
do go to the washroom, but that's mostly to do the thing where I'm like looking at myself in the mirror, just like.
Who am I?
But like, it's really unnerving. So if anyone walks in, it's gonna be weird because like she's just like stone faced
And like
staring.
reflections start playing in the background.
Nice.
Yes. Exactly.
All right.
Eventually, I will come back upstairs.
Resta, are you okay?
I like throw the paper towards whoever the first person is.
It's Pyres.
What the heck is this?
The rules for the next game.
So it's the instructions for game 4. Oh. So it's back on then.
Of course it is. Oh, yeah, we also got another scroll, but Farron was watching to make sure it was delivered.
Thought the Commandant was going to be able to hold off for at least a week. That was the whole... This false gateway tournament business. It was a cover to push the game to hunt down the...
Gale whispered, unless you were taking an unreasonable amount of time.
No, I'd like to come in the middle of this discussion, please.
Well, I don't want to be rude, but I think we're fucked, guys. This is really bad.
Well, one of us is.
Okay, look. So I'm gonna stand up and be like, you know what, Siontel, you can fine. I'll just air my own dirty laundry. Yes, Tepet Single Edge and I had a little liaison. Okay, I'm just trying to get to know her better. Okay, just gonna like lay it all out on the table.
That wasn't what I meant. I'm fucked. I'm not House Sinus. But I am, but I'm not.
You are, but you're not.
I'm Excelsi.
I'd like to reach my hands out to Pyres and Santel at the moment.
Yep, I will take one of those.
Hold their hands and like try to suggest that the others like form a hand-holding circle.
Yeah. Gale?
Hold on.
Oh?
Gale's gonna go over to a corner of the room, like as if she didn't see that, and keep studying the paper.
Oof.
She doesn't mean to do it in a like dismissal, I'm snubbing you kind of way. She's meaning to be like she's distracted.
I had that charisma
but
1 on your sheet.
it's charisma 1, so
Yeah.
Very
Flavienne
harsh.
says, Gale, please. And she reaches out her hand. You are between Gale and... you're between Flavienne and Pyres.
All right, I will... thanks.
There's a lot going on. There are a lot of revelations. This is intense.
Well, there's revelations like, I went off and I banged someone, and then there's revelations like, you're not even Sinus?
In the barracks. Keep your voices down.
Let's all do our best to stay calm. And Pyres is really doing his best.
Real brick wall. God fucking damn it.
It's so true, though.
Yeah, right.
So
I did
true.
have sex, and I was great at it, okay? Is that what you wanted to hear?
I'm so awesome.
Actually, let's have you roll for that, please. Could you roll me your appearance and...
Performance, isn't it?
Well, in this particular case, we're going to call it a performance, yes. So appearance performance, please.
John, would
Yes.
I have, would I get a stunt?
You stunted. You
Okay.
can get 2 dice for that.
Oh, you stunted. Okay. And I might...
Is that what they're calling it these days?
Yes, my audience enthusing display, of course. Oh, no, okay. Oh, no, I can't. Can I retroactively spend motes? No,
Yes,
I can't do that.
If you really wanted to.
I do.
You do have to tell me, though, if at some point your anima would start going off. You were in a forest.
That's actually a really good point, because I did spend 3 motes on the like seduction style or whatever. So if I also spent 2 on a success, that would be 5. So
Yeah,
then,
but if you
Use
spent it in
personal.
personal motes, then that would be okay.
I didn't.
Okay, so there's a forest fire because
No,
you had to
hang
get
on.
your
It would be
bone
no, it'd
down.
just be like glowing, right? Or whatever.
Only you can prevent forests, Pyres.
Somebody stunt Gilad good for that, please.
Yeah, I called it.
Five successes.
Okay, so yeah, you definitely did a good job.
Thanks, Dad. Well done.
Well done,
I like
old
it.
boy. Well done.
Sorry for shouting. I Okay.
Clivien's
clearly
just
I'm not,
like wide-eyed.
clearly don't have the most important thing to say right now. So
Yeah, I'd like to squeeze Siantel's hand reassuringly if I can.
I swore an oath to all of you, and that isn't the whole point that it's more important than house.
Yes.
And there it is. I didn't lie to you, but I should have told you this.
This is a secret you've been keeping for a long time.
Since I was 5.
It's not the kind of thing that you think to tell your new best friends, your new allies in battle, no matter how much you trust them, no matter how much you intend to stand next to them. This has been your life since that day.
If it gets out, I disappear. There's no tribunal. There's no... I'm just gone. Which means that if it gets out, you have to be the one to do it. Or else they'll believe it was you.
if you
I can make the earth split, and you can disappear into it.
Siantel, were you here as I take it then that you've abandoned whatever mission you had at the House of Bells.
My mission was to find weakness.
It's everywhere.
And they could find me at any time to tell me what I need to do to serve the vendetta.
Has finding us has having found this, does it change how you feel about them?
No one in Excelsi cares about me more than they care about the vendetta. No one in Sinis cares about me at all.
We care about you, Siantel.
And that's why I told you.
Read intentions. House Excelsi? Am I saying that right?
Excelsi.
Excelsi, thank you.
Think Excelsior, but
Excelsior.
Yes.
I'm thinking Celsi water.
Okay.
Could you have a bit of Celsi water?
He cannot wait any longer.
Okay, yes, go for it, Liz.
Celsi water?
Take your sweet time.
Oh, I dropped all my dice on the ground. Sorry. I will read intentions. Again, I can kind of deduce a little bit here, but good job. Oh,
Yes, Gilad, good, but thankfully I don't think any of my players actually have read the entire Excelsi section of the book. So, or if they have, they're doing a very good job of not metagaming it. Both of those show that they're good players. There's a reason why I stopped when I was describing what House Excelsi is.
Mm-hmm. For what it's worth, I got 2 successes, which
Two
I believe
successes.
does not exceed her
Will
guile.
not exceed her guile, which
Okay,
is
but-
currently 4.
At least she's still happy, right? No, I'm just kidding. She has intimacies. Let's look
Okay.
at them.
I'm gonna point this out.
I'm
gonna point this out.
Oh shit!
This-
Oh, there he is.
Is the combined knowledge of just 3rd edition, and this doesn't even include lunars. This is what Fire has wrought and the Exalted Core book. There's a shit ton of information in here, and in case you don't remember, they were playing a different game several months ago, of which there was a shit ton of other information that they had to pick up. I don't intend my players to memorize even half of what's in here, even a quarter of what's in here.
But also, I read a lot when I'm starting, and then I just focus on what I actually need to know.
We don't
and
lack
so
lunars, I just don't have a physical copy.
I read about all the houses, and I was like, that one. Okay, I've forgotten about everyone else. Gone. No space. Delete.
I'm with you there.
But yeah. You were attempting to read intentions. And
He failed.
Okay.
You did.
Which seems to be the defining.
Standard
of the
measure
day.
of
Theme of the day
RPG
is-
books is the Liz. Yeah, exactly. Oh, hi, Liz.
I have no intention of asking you to put aside your previous tasks, as long as, of course, they don't conflict with us. But I'd ask that you continue to share with us what you can. So that we can help you, or stay out of your way.
I haven't found an anathema here.
I think as the person who I would assume, and I'm kind of looking at Flavienne a little bit, I would assume that I would be the most likely to want to turn you in, Siontel.
Why?
Because it's a Cathak's duty to eradicate the house that no longer exists. But
It doesn't exist.
exactly. And I'm sure if my parents, if Cathak Vieren, if the Commandant knew that it did, that they would stamp it out. And I can't speak for anyone else here, but I know that it is not my destiny to do what my house tells me to do. I respect them and I love them, but you're not going anywhere.
Latest not until noon tomorrow.
Right. Next order of business.
I no longer want to play Viren's games. I don't know how you all feel, but this... ousting a staff member from their position, particularly the quartermaster? What a great way to sow chaos.
And punished you in for her transgressions, right? No, it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit.
So
Sorry,
let's lean into
squeeze
the
hands.
chaos.
Whoa. What?
He's using us as pieces within a chaotic world that he believes he has control over. But what if those pieces flip their own board?
How do you propose we flip the board?
I propose we all go to the glade like good little pawns tomorrow. And as soon as the bell rings, we unleash all our essence. We channel our elements and we create real chaos.
What the fuck?
What?
What?
What? You can't leave the glade if there is no glade. I propose we eliminate the glade. That doesn't seem like a tie to me.
I'm ready to burn it down.
But there isn't a way that doesn't involve destroying the glade?
We could never enter.
Juin would have to be on board with that too.
Forests can be rebuilt, replanted, reseeded. The House of Bells. It needs to survive.
Yeah, you're right.
And it will, if there's someone at the center of the chaos that people can look to. And I look at Pyres and Aresta.
Do you look like directly between them so that you don't have to like...
Her eyes do this.
Yeah, they separate. Oh, so often.
What about this? Do we share this information? Do we spread it? around?
As you shake the paper,
Yeah.
Now, when you look at it, there's no ink on it.
Mother.
Anyway, this is my
crumple it.
plan. My plan is to flip the board and then be the loudest voice in the midst of the ensuing chaos. What you say is up to you. But this is the opportunity to turn people to our side so that we are too loud to be eliminated, too loud to be investigated.
Too loud to be suspicious?
Yes. Turn the tides of suspicion from us to someone else. Perhaps the game puppet master himself.
Making him.
Anyway, that's my plan. Submitted for consideration, Commander.
Parallel or conflicting suggestions?
There is always the opportunity for us to simply win, as we have always been doing. It would support Nuven and what she asked of us.
I'm just looking for some. We promised Juin we would stand with her and that she would not play the game either. So we got to do something to support that. You're right, this is far enough. Aresta, you're right.
Leaves the glade at the end of the match.
We should write down our intentions somewhere and hide it. In case everything goes to hell, we tell somebody where to find it if we need it. A dead switch.
Tell someone where to find what?
We write down what we're trying to do.
Oh, okay.
We insist that this is because we don't trust Viren. And then at the end of this, if for some reason we can't defend ourselves or it means that somebody will get the information. If there's somebody that we can trust.
That's the trouble, though, isn't it?
I'm looking at the 4 people I can trust. And she tries to make eye contact with Ciantel when she says that.
Oh.
Ciantel looks up at her, and tears are just welling up in her eyes, but they aren't falling. Then we know what we got to do. So, whichever one of us is the best at figuring out exactly what we want to write, that's great. And then we have to find someone we can trust and tell them where to find the paper if we need it. Scene.
I suggest Bracken.
She's way too deep in this.
I don't know what her ultimate agenda is, but I do know that she would do it for me.
You're gonna play Gateway against her. Tell her if something happens to that she should have your Gateway board.
Right. And I go to start writing our story.
Wow.
With a
This is our
thumbnail that's
story.
us like crying. My story. My truth.
Tizanarkin starts playing. Tizanarkin is 20 years old
Wow.
this year.
So
Yeah, where's my...
That'll
Ooh.
fuck you up, won't it?
Da 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 da. Okay, so I'm writing it in code. the linguistics charm.
Okay.
And I want to make it so that only Bracken can read it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that only Bracken can read it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
If there is no Bracken.
Well, then we're fucked, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
So this is Cryptic Essence Cipher.
So while you're doing that, Flavienne sits down on her bunk and she starts sharpening her tiger claws. And Siantel just stands in the center of the room.
Boy.
I should point out, by the way, that for what it's worth, the only person who knows currently about the orichalcum is Gale Whispered. She never
right.
told Siantel, and to my knowledge, she hasn't told anyone else.
That's right.
Okay.
Great.
I don't know whether we benefit from standing completely alone in this. Should we tell someone loud like Brevin that the games are... I mean, he's already been saying that the games are tearing the student body apart. Would it help to insinuate that we agree that we're going to take a stand?
He'd only want to. Sorry. He'd only want to help if he can take credit for leading the revolution. If we're standing in the middle of a maelstrom, he won't do it.
Give him credit.
Yeah, he can rile them up from the outside. He can show up to the party with a mob behind him. We need support. Otherwise, it's too easy to just stomp the 5 of us out.
Well, he won't listen to me, that's for sure. I'll bring
Yes,
him this
he will.
proposal.
That's the reason why it has to be you.
Reverse psychology?
Yes.
If it comes from anybody else, it's going to look like a trap.
I'm so confused. I thought he would think it would be a trap if it came from me. Apparently, all
Like,
I ever
this is
wanted...
the first time that you're confused, and Flavienne just cracks a small smile
Hey!
and throws a pillow at him.
If you're
My
not
body.
comfortable, I'll try. But I think you're a weak spot for him the same way he's a weak spot for you.
I'll do it. I'll talk to him.
By the way, nice.
Oh. Thanks. What?
Siantel looks away sharply, but Flavienne is just like grinning, just nice.
Let me go see if I can do that.
It's a good
See-
idea,
see-
Commander.
See you all
Thank you.
soon.
Still, though. Nice.
Glad he has the free time.
Oh, fuck.
As good of a zinger that is,
Jesus Christ.
like Pyres is going to stop and turn around and talk to his commander about that for sure.
Did you gain any useful knowledge for us, soldier?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah, how
Commander,
many
I
licks
did-
it takes to get to the center of
Wow!
Son of a
No, that was the anti-high five. I was like
no,
pushing you
high five for
away.
you.
Oh, I
No,
took the
high
high
five
for you.
for
It's there.
I don't want this. Yeah, Commander, I got information that we have someone we can trust, but apparently we're going to be trusting Sinus Bracken instead. So, I guess my
Would you
opinion...
prefer that it be her? You should have spoken up. If
Yeah,
you
I
have
should
something to offer, please speak up.
I can still change who reads this.
No, I know.
I don't know if I can.
It's already written. Like I did something. no, I wanted to make sure that Single Edge and I, that she would trust me. But things are moving too fast. Not with her, I just like in the world, you know what I mean? Sorry, Commander.
No, you're allowed to have liaisons. All of you are. But
Siantel, like, if it's possible for Siantel to will herself into a black hole, right now is the time, but that's not necessarily coming out properly.
You should know just that I was trying to help. That was the motivation.
Pyres, you're allowed to... Look, the world might be ending, but...
we're still college students.
Yeah, I guess. I'll go see if I can do something like else that's useful too right now. Is that
But you
okay?
trust her?
I do. Yeah.
And did you trust her this morning?
No. Not really.
Nice.
I toss the pillow back at Flavienne.
Flavienne just catches it with one hand and then goes right back to...
Just skewer it on her tiger's claws.
There's one more thing, by the way.
Oh.
I understand that it's very strange that I'm putting such faith in Bracken. It's my hope that by giving her this, and I pull out my gateway board, which now has the cipher underneath, taped underneath, she'll realize that something's wrong. And if there's one thing I'm sure of, it's that she doesn't want people to get hurt.
She cares about you. She cares about you so much that at least Garavel knows it.
So let's see what that's good for.
Let's use it.
You going to deliver the thing?
So
Yeah.
she's going off to see Bracken. What are you doing?
I'm gonna go see Brevin.
What are you doing?
Bracken and Brevin hanging out forever.
I guess trying
Library
to
man.
work out
Sorry.
some details of the game plan with the other two.
Okay. Yep. Please roll me your intelligence war.
Great, I'm gonna use my war excellency.
Nice.
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 Good idea.
Hey, who else is buying up anything to do with war at a military academy?
How dare.
Shockingly,
Here
I think
you
that's
have
something we
the
actually all
First
have.
excellency.
All right. Let's go with both of you roll a die. Whoever gets higher gets to go first.
Yeet. 7.
8.
Okay.
All right.
Library.
Squeaky ass library door.
Bracken is there. She's surrounded by all of her gateway boards. She has them all set out. You see that some of them have the classic shield placed above it for the obscured game. The one with the pieces that are made of both colors for the reflective game. I didn't expect you quite so soon.
Wanted to drop this off. We were just informed that we are participating in the games tomorrow. And should I be forced to miss our planned game tomorrow, I wanted to leave this in safe hands.
She reaches out with one hand and takes the board. How nice is your board?
I don't actually think it's that nice because I think it's Gail's first board that she never
Classic.
she never upgraded it. It's like
So is it like made of cardboard?
no, it's made of wood.
Okay. But like it wasn't one that you made yourself.
No.
Okay.
That would be cute.
No, but I think she saved up for like a long time for it.
Well, she wouldn't have had to save up a long time for it. She's a dynast. You can afford whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, but her family's broke from having to. Never mind.
Yeah, well, it's clearly a gateway board, but it is not a
not a
nice
super
gateway
swank
board.
one.
It's a gateway board. It's like us going out to buy a chess set.
Mm-hmm.
And she has the equivalent of 2 cookies on top of the board as well.
The equivalent
In
in raw dough.
The dragon-blooded
A
equivalent.
2-cookie equivalent.
Yep.
I like that.
Is everything all right? And
Sure.
then she takes it, and she takes it in both hands. So she feels that there's something underneath it, but she just places it down among her other boards. And then she gently moves the others so that it looks like this board always was there.
I appreciate you keeping it safe.
That's not all, is it? What's troubling you?
A great many things. But
I am reading intentions.
great.
Do you have any intimacies relating to feeling discombobulated or disconcerted?
Oh.
Or any
Never.
intimacies that are currently causing you discombobulation or disconcertion?
That's the one.
What is your current guile?
3.
Well, that's 4.
Okay. I'm gonna go with it's a minor.
Mm-hmm.
Minor principle. If I don't identify every possible outcome, nobody will.
That's causing you some discombobulation.
It is causing me a tremendous amount of discombobulation.
Oh, yeah, that would be appropriate.
My brain's
Tremendous.
overwhelmed. There are too many questions swimming around in my brain right now, and every time I ask one, it just unspools and reveals more. And I'm reminded of how I was when I first came to the school. And nobody listened to my questions except for you. And I thank you for that.
May I give you some unsolicited advice?
Has my answer ever stopped you before?
facing an opponent, and you aren't sure which opening to use. There are so many to choose from, and every time there's an opening that you could pick, there's so many other questions. What if he comes back with this defense or this one? In the end, why don't you choose the opening that you are best at, knowing that there isn't any possible way for you to identify which opening would be best? Choose the one that feels the most right in that moment to you. And then at least you know a direction. If you need to change directions afterwards, very well. But better that you at least make one than make none, and let your opponent dictate the game.
I nod. A slower nod than my usual, like curt. Night.
Neck snaps.
Slow nod, and I go head back.
As you head back, you hear a crunch.
Cookie.
She's just eating the gateway board. Arr! Pyres.
Yes.
Actually, no. I want to hear your roll.
My roll sucks.
Oh dear.
Do they help me at all with my roll, or can I contribute to their? No,
You can
I'm
stunt.
the commander.
You said that you were involved in the other two, which is enough of a stunt, so you do get your 2 dice for that.
I'd like to talk through what they planned when they were in the glade, when we were first fighting them, and I'd like to
Ooh.
try to take their knowledge and tactics into.
Okay, that I do like. Yes. Yes.
Nice.
2 successes. I reroll 6s until they cease to appear. Thanks, charms.
It's good.
2 successes.
Shit. Your intention is to essentially destroy the field of battle, to scorch the earth.
Well, that's Gale's. But...
in an attempt to make the game unplayable. Is that correct?
Yeah, unless in our discussions something more clever comes up.
Okay.
How dare you?
There are a couple of things to keep in mind.
Yeah.
I think it's a great plan.
I am going to send them to you
Ooh.
between games because you're going to get the chance to talk about this, but we're running a little short on time.
Yeah.
So I will send that to you.
Okay.
And you can hit me if I don't.
Heck.
If I don't.
You haven't yet.
Fuck.
It's for taking a high five I didn't mean to give.
All right, Pyres.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I'm letting my natural frustration just kind of get the better at me as I knock at his door.
The door opens up. Brevin is standing there, and he is wearing just his shorts.
I am.
He's glistening. It looks like he's been doing exercises in his room.
I'm trying not to look him in the eye.
What do you want? Why is it always that you're coming to my door?
Need your help, Brevin.
My help?
Yeah.
Why?
You know, I'm gonna tell you, and you're gonna. There's a 1% chance that you're not just gonna gloat and laugh and slam the door in my face. The next game is tomorrow, and the Thang of the Lost Hand is going up against Juin. So,
What?
Yeah. So obviously, we're getting disbanded because we can't take on the quartermaster.
There's 5 of you. Of course you can take her on.
I reach out and I do not touch, but I kind of motion to where the lash marks were on him. I don't know if that's true. It's not a good situation, Brevin, and there's nothing we can do about it because we're going to be in the game.
So what do you want from me?
You told all the students that this was unfair. And you know what, Brevin? I agree, but I couldn't say anything. I couldn't say anything to you. Against you. We're like, I don't know, rivals or something like that. I don't know.
Tell me what you're supposed to say. Let me hear it. Say it just between you and me, right here. We're alone. No one else is around. Say what you need to tell me.
You, among princes, you are a king.
And I think we're going to end the session there.
Fuck yeah. My whole heart. Got a nice little persuade action plan too.
What?
What? No, it's good.
This is all for your own game?
What? No.
No.
Quite proud of that line.
That was great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I so want to see how the rest of that's going to come out, but you can't.
No. It's
can't fault that button.
Yeah.
No. This is perfect. I'm proud. Oh my God, Aragorn, how many bingos? Holy damn! I gotta know. Wow, that was. Now that is a session. We love a good session.
What, as opposed to all the other sessions that suck?
Yeah, which were kind of like middling to. No, I'm John. Come on.
No, but that's what I mean. Like we love a good session. Like, yeah, because why wouldn't you love a bad session?
Right. Well, that's actually.
I'm not saying that the other sessions were bad. I'm just like.
That's a good point too.
So we're going to ask the players what
a game.
they what they learned. We're going to ask what they liked about each other's play, but we are also going to compare their initial guesses with what happened this session, which I don't know. So, Kate, we'll start with you.
I learned that Aresta has hit her limit. I think of her as strong and stable. But
this is too unstable?
There's just too much going on behind the scenes, and it's just she can't.
Okay, I think that's legit. Scott?
Yeah. I'm gonna say that I learned Bracken is well, I'm not gonna say I learned that she's playing both sides, but like we knew she had a conversation with Viren, and then now we know she's like something's going on. Her and Garavel, I learned that Bracken is keeping a lot of secrets, and I am very suspicious of her involvement in everything that's going on at the House of Bells.
Okay. Elizabeth.
Well, I learned that Ciantel is a Celsi, so
Bam.
I mean,
It's a.
Bacon.
Should have said.
and that Juin has Orichalcum under her mat.
Fuck.
Yep.
I mean, Gail's little brain is about to explode with all the knowledge.
Yeah, this
she
is
has.
wild.
So I will point out one thing, just for what it's worth. Having access to Orichalcum doesn't necessarily mean that, like, it's not like Dragon-Blooded can't touch Orichalcum or they explode or whatever. Just for people who don't know, Orichalcum is one of the 5 magical materials. It is the one that is most associated with Solar Exalted, who are the enemies of the Dragon-Blooded. But the 5 magical materials are still potentially useful in the hands of any Exalted. So,
And maybe she's keeping this tiny amount of it safe.
yeah, I just don't want people to specifically.
I don't know if we actually have a thing for that.
Maybe we don't.
No.
It's. I just don't want people to immediately be like, "Well, this is clearly what it is," because there are just more questions. Kate.
I love that Pyres just went for it. Like, but his way of showing and forming allegiances, understanding trust, it's so personal. Like, I just love that Pyres, like, it needs to be a tight bond rather than just, yeah, you're fine, it seems. So, yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Scott?
Yeah. Gail whispered. I thought that the scene where Ciantel came out to you, if I can use the term, it was super, like, wonderful, specifically because it's, like, the most truthful thing for Gail to not be like, oh no, but rather to be like, shh, tell me more. Like, I must know all of this. Like, that's like the most Gail thing.
But also,
like,
Only me.
now that we're close,
Yeah, exactly,
into my
right?
ear again.
and also just the like whole, oh, Gail, not now.
Damn it, Gail.
Anyway, that's what I'm gonna say.
Kate, I loved Aresta's journey while she was speaking to Viren.
Oh.
Starting with like
Guy.
beautiful, like kissing up to him and playing the part, but then she just couldn't help herself when he went too far and had to start sassing him. Because she's like, I can play you. And then at the end she's like, you're a fucking asshole. And it was great. It was so clear.
He's a bully. Like, that information, I'm like, no, I don't see your angle. You're just ruining everything and using people. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was a delight to witness. Also, the burn of Pyres was
Oh my god, play it
was
again.
Sorry.
perfection.
I know we're not doing that anymore, but like,
So
I can't stop. I can't.
I mean, you can stop, but you don't have to.
well, why would
You
you?
don't have to.
No, I can't. It's a problem.
But I don't mean to, Mr. Fro.
I don't mean to.
I don't mean to. I mean, Kung Fu Fenris
Might
says
want to plug in your
that Vieren's kind of sass immune. It's weird. Have you met any high school or college professor? Well, maybe
So
not
you
college
just get-
professors, but definitely high school professors. And
get in-
the funny thing is that even though these are college students, like because they're so powerful, there's a lot of high school, I think, left in them. Like you have to be sass immune to a certain thing. Like otherwise you're boned. Now, what were your guesses? Because I want to know whether you guessed correctly or not.
Oh.
So I guessed that the thing that would be revealed would be who the traitor was. I didn't think it was going to be who the anathema was going to be. I thought it was the traitor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess in a sense that was good.
I thought we'd get some more information about the original traitors that were like expelled or some of that information.
Okay.
Yeah, I agreed with Kate. I figured we would get like a reveal about the circumstances around the original expulsions, right? Like what was that event that was the betrayal?
Well, Real Brick Wall apparently guessed correctly 2 months ago, sort of. What
Sort
do you
of.
mean, sort of?
Yeah,
I
what
think
do
he
you
said
mean,
like
sort of?
Secret Excelsior or something.
Secret SLC.
Yeah.
This has so. I will point out this has been building from the beginning. If you want to go back and look, there's a bunch of things, but
No, everyone
was
was
getting
saying that the
very
intimacies all make sense. Yeah.
Damn.
I have been accused in the past of being like, oh, I'll just pick like in the moment, and like sometimes abso-fucking-lutely I'll do that.
Yeah.
But what if they never drafted Siantel? She was still going to be around.
Oh shit. Damn.
Well, I mean, we still have some things to look forward to this week, right?
Always. We got streams through the week. On Tuesday at 1800 Eastern Daylight, you can join me over on twitch.tv/BiffTheBoss. We play spooky games right now, although I do a whole host of things. Right now we're playing through At Dead of Night on Paul Prospero's Paranormal Probe. Yeah.
Wednesday we had a scrub check. Last Wednesday's scrub check was me jumping from 8 heat on Hades to 16 heat, and I managed to win with 2 minutes to spare. I need more challenges like that hopefully I come out looking like a hero when I finally do it. But like, look, it's up to you. Also, remember, anytime you want to give any kind of challenge, please do so in the Discord. I mean, I can come up with them, but it's way more interesting if somebody else does. So please let me know. Just as long as I can try to make it happen, it has a reasonable chance of failure, a reasonable chance of success, and we can work something out. So that's Wednesdays. That's over on my channel, twitch.tv/JohnBarrel, at 5 or 1700 Eastern. Thursday, clinic hours. We had a pretty cool clinic hours last week. We were talking about first-time GMs. If you have a topic that you want to suggest, by all means, it's possible that at some point, some clinic hours may be preempted for some side sessions, potentially, depending on what we can, if we have any side sessions to be had. I mean, like right now, you're in the shit. I don't know if
It's
there's
just
one.
all of Pyres' liaisons.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But
Side piece and a side set.
But if there are other suggestions of things that you want to discuss over on Clinic Hours, where we talk about RPGs, from tabletops to LARPs to online games to foreign games, please do. Because also, if we get the topic early enough and we have somebody who's really interested in it, we might be able to get them in as a guest.
Ooh. Guestaroo.
Friday?
Friday is more Punch Club with Punchy. We've got a serious rampage to go on. We've got some avenging
Oh, that's right.
that needs doing. So tune in 6 p.m. EDT. And then on Saturday, we have the rewatch of this episode. That's at 11 a.m. EDT. And then we have at 3 o'clock more Drew Crew on my channel. They're going to be staying overnight in a volcano, and I could not be happier.
So every week we like, just
There's a
kind of,
hostage negotiation.
we like tease what's happening in the book. It doesn't make sense.
You need more of the
That's-
Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys.
I'm
combos.
obsessed with
Apparently
this book,
we do
y'all.
actually. Yeah, it's really intense.
Oh boy.
I've been taking a slot at 1800, 6 p.m. On Saturdays. I don't know if I will be this Saturday, but stay tuned to the Discord. Maybe there'll be a movie night in our future. I've heard a couple of calls for Kung Fury, which is apparently free, so we might be watching that all together at some point as well.
And next Sunday we'll be back here and we will be Essence 2.
My laptop died before I could update that, unfortunately. I'm so sad.
That sucks.
I'll do it later.
It's true. And that'll be here, 1800 Eastern Daylight Time, on this channel. We have to thank She Who Knows 10,000 Things, Entropy's Disciple, and Strength of Borders. Aragorn the Crosshair and Robrick Wall, we probably couldn't do this nearly as well without you. In fact, no, we couldn't. So thank you so much for that. It is very appreciated. It's also appreciated all of your support is making sure that we can continue across multiple different configurations. As you know, we are struggling with a pandemic. We're doing whatever we can to try to give you the best streams that we can possible. There's an enormous amount of work that goes into that, which I hope that it shows in the product. But one of the things that I can say is that it would be a lot more work and it would become impossible without your support. So thank you very much. Even if that support is just telling a friend about us. If you're interested in learning more, you can always head to our Discord, probably the best place to reach out and talk to us or make suggestions about any of our individual streams or the RPG Clinic streams themselves. And hey, if you have an idea for a show that you want to see, go ahead. We take suggestions. We like them.
Yep, sure do.
But I also have to thank my players. In a mystery-heavy game, it can be frustrating to run up against mystery after mystery after mystery. But instead, I have players who are embracing and moving forward with it, and I appreciate it incredibly.
And we are so very happy to be playing in this game with you, John.
We appreciate you, the Mystery Master.
Mystery Master.
It's rough out there. I mean, hey, we even have curtains that are apparently made of wall now.
I am confused.
But as is the case in all things, we're always moving.
Oh.
But at least this time we're moving.
That way?
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.